Alright, welcome to Princess of the Apocalypse. Remember last time when I said it was the 14th episode and this would be 15? Well, I miscounted because I counted 14 twice. So this is the 16th episode. We're 16 episodes in, guys. So this is a fun little game we play every other week, so we won't be back here next week, but we will be back the following week. But hey, if you want to come check out what happens next week, it's canonically in the same universe as this game. Although it's very difficult to keep track of two separate timelines because they're about 2 weeks ahead of where you guys are in the universe. Because you guys spent like 2 days in Waterdeep for 3 sessions and they traversed a desert and came back. So that's fine. That's fine. I can't say anything because some of them.
Shopping, Ted, instead.
Some of them are in the chat, so I can't say anything against them. But anyway. So, basically, what happened, a couple bits of news. If you guys are unaware, Wizards of the Coast has they just did the Stream of Many Eyes. Most of those videos are now up on the Wizards of the Coast archives there on Twitch if they haven't hit YouTube already. So you can catch up on all of that. I also did a video on some of it, but more importantly, up till this Friday at 11:59 p.m., I have a giveaway going on where I'm giving away 4 copies of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, as well as dice. I'll put the link in the chat right now. 3 of them are the base edition. 1 of them is the hobby store only cover. So if you guys want to enter, you can. It's the same thing as every other one of our giveaways. So, yeah. I agree, Katie. Brittany is slaying it with that eyeliner.
Oh yeah, no, great.
Right.
You can 10 out of 10.
I have a date tonight.
She has a hot date.
Yeah.
Hot date.
Yes. We're all thinking it. You said it in text form, so.
Aw, thanks.
But anyway, so let's talk about what happened last time. So the party was on their way into having determined a thieves guild's location in the the graveyard district of Waterdeep. So they decided, let's go figure it out. They ended up fighting a animated cloak that attacked them with a dagger. Then they were going through a series of traps, and some fell down due to tumbling incidents down a chute through sewage into just a pile of shit. And other people took the very convenient zipline, where they went and basically Igni had a confrontation with the heads, the 3 mistresses of this Thieves Guild, and in a blast to her past, these are the 3 women she saw dancing when she was a child in Waterdeep over 100 years ago, and they are the heads of this seemingly prestigious, quite secretive Thieves Guild. And they said, you've made it this far. If you want to be a part of this, you have to do something for us, and we'll give you the information you need. Prove to us that you're worth it. So they gave her a mission. Simple mark. Noble family. House has been pretty much abandoned for 10 years. A whole bunch of, there's some artifacts and some art, as well as what they think to be a pretty ample bank account. Just ripe for this to taking if they can get the information. Only 1 guy on premises. Should be a joke. Which they eventually realize is Lilith's family home. Which all of those things are pretty much true. It's just a butler there, and a very deep, heartfelt moment. Lilith basically agrees to, what? This is what we need to do. I'm gonna do it. There's a couple, things that are off limits. Let's make sure Winston's set up all set. And then, let's take a little for ourselves and we'll do it. We'll give them everything. And that's kind of where we ended last time. This sacrifice to get the information. Well, basically, I guess, and remind me, Chelsea, Igni's plan was she wanted just any information from them regarding the cults, or what was her exact wording?
Okay, what did I say? I told her about the cultist.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him about the cultist, and Igni wanted information on, the cults. And did I mention the Mandusa?
I don't. You might have. It's hard because it's always in jest. So
Yeah, not in Igny's eyes. There's a Medusa out there just roaming. We must save everyone. No, okay, so yeah, so I think I asked for information on the cults, specifically. Oh no! I also asked about the murder. Remember, I said they would know like who had hits out on people and who might be putting in those kinds of things because of all of the people at the weeks and weeks ago. We were just digging holes.
Yes, I see. Who had put out the hits on... Okay, that's right. So, let me ask an important question for the party right now. Who would you say comes the closest to death most often? If you had to pick 2 of the 4 of you, who would that be?
Igni.
Okay.
And you're muted, Davis.
Still muted. You're still muted, Davis. There we go.
Can I ever hear?
Yeah.
I said Igni.
Okay, Igni, and then one more. Who's second?
Davis.
I would say
Igni and Vanan. All right,
Well,
congratulations,
or Vanan,
Igni and Vanan, through the magic that is the what are we calling this? The immersionary space, which is what we've decided to name fans of Nerd Immersion, are immersionaries.
Oh, that's cute.
You guys both get from Katie, who spent 12,000 flint bucks on the 2 of you.
Wow.
You guys both get the equivalent of a Legend of Zelda fairy in a bottle. When you go down to 0 hit points, you come back at 1. It's not full health. It's not a full Legend of Zelda fairy in a bottle.
Wait,
But
we have fairies in bottles. That's like a real thing.
yeah, you guys, when you go...
Things.
Yeah, when you guys go down to 0 hit points, you will go to 1 instead. Whenever, and it stays until it's used.
Nice. It's like
So
that,
it's a death ward for both of you. But it's not a death ward spell, so if you get one cast on you, it's double. But that's a flint buck donation of 6,000 each to both of you. So
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
so
I felt like I was gonna die soon. So.
now that business is out of the way, right? So yeah, you guys, this is pretty much, you had asked for this information. You have attained. We'll say basically you guys have gotten the gold. We already did that whole piece. So you have all the stuff to bring back to the Thieves Guild. And let me ask you this. What was the plan? Were you all going to go back? Because you still have to go, or was it just going to be Igni and Vanan? Who was going back?
We
Because I didn't think Lilith was going to go back in there. And I didn't think Ozzy was too keen on it either.
No.
Because it's your mission. You have the stuff.
right. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When we went to the bank
Yes.
and we got them their fantasy debit card to this magical bank,
Mm-hmm.
did we in fact sign it over to them?
No, they said if you can provide us with basically the information to get that, like the bank account number, if you will, or like your debit card. So you
Right.
guys had took the money, so you had taken the money that you wanted out for Winston
Right.
and yourselves, and we'll say to just real world scenario, you basically have the debit card and the PIN that they can use to take the remaining 50,000 gold out of the bank.
So I'm guessing we're like walking back through the graveyard and like making all this happen again.
Well, basically, before we get there, I'm saying that I just want to know.
Okay.
Like-
well, Igni has new plan.
Oh, what is Igni's new plan? Let's hear it.
Well, if your parents open up a bank account in their name and they put lots of money in it and they give you a debit card, that money, legally speaking, still belongs to your parents. Which means basically what Lilith is doing is buying the Thieves Guild. She has become 51% share owner of said Thieves Guild, which means Lilith now runs the Thieves Guild if we give them this money, unless she walks them in and changes over the name on the account.
I mean, I don't know how much Igni knows about shareholder accounts.
No, I'm just saying, it's pretty simple to say, in her name, this is her money. If Igni's plan is to go in and totally ask them, like, let Lilith buy it. Let Lilith buy the Thieves Guild. We'll fund everything you want to do, but it's got to run through her first.
Well, if you bring that up, is that something that Lilith would even be interested in?
I don't know.
Lilith?
I think it's best that Lilith not know.
That was my plan, was not to tell Lilith and just
Okay.
be like, guess what? I just bought you a Thieves Guild.
Okay, so
I don't think she's gonna want to know that because she would be uncomfortable.
so basically the way I'm seeing this, and you guys tell me if this is different, or was Igni gonna go in alone, or was Vanan gonna go with her back in?
Van, what did you just? I'm letting you make that choice, bud.
Vanan for sure is going with you.
Okay, so the way I envision this is you guys do all of the things, you have all of the stuff, you have the debit card and the pin, and then basically my understanding was that you guys were going to go do that. I know Ozzy has something that he wants to do in Waterdeep, and then before he left, Winston handed Lilith a letter. Sorry, I gotta turn down the volume on those subs because I have to turn the volume up for everybody's audio. But we can do that real quick. So he handed you a letter, Lilith, and we'll say that yes, that letter right there that you have in your hands.
Letter.
He handed you this letter, and we'll say that for a little bit of a retroactive, he told you that the token is in, like, he basically illustrates to you that it's in, that special place of yours in the house. And you know the one that he's talking about before he, Fellowship of the Ring, walking stick, Bilbo's off to Rivendell or wherever he may end up. So you can go ahead and open that and start reading it, and then we can come back. Yes, so I sent Brittany, for those of you who don't get it, I sent Brittany a physical letter with another letter inside it, but we'll get to that.
Exciting.
So she can go ahead and read that, and we'll.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So there's that. There's the letter from Winston, and then there's that letter. But while you go ahead and read that you can read that to yourself. If you want to share it, you can, obviously. But I'll let you read while we deal with other stuff. So what did Ozzy want to do?
Ozzy wants to go, and this is gonna be kind of weird.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Ozzy wants to go find a tattoo parlor.
Can I go with him?
Oh. Well, I thought you were going with Igni.
I am with Igni. God damn it, Ozzy.
All right, so Ozzy, you'll know that in the city of Waterdeep, there's a fantastic tattoo parlor called Lightning Tiger Tattoo.
So I want to go in, and I actually take a piece of paper out of my sketchbook. I've been drawing a couple things in there, and I want to pull it out, and I want to walk in to the tattoo parlor.
Okay. Yeah, the symbol looks like that, except it says lightning instead of electric.
Hell yeah.
And when you walk inside, so you, okay, so yeah, so what are you trying to, basically, they will sit you down, and you see that there's a handful of people doing tattoos, and they basically want to evaluate what you want to have done. Exactly.
So I take the piece of paper and I put it on the table, and it's 3 different arcane circles.
Okay.
And they all kind of resemble the elemental spectrum, but there's key differences about them. There's 3 different differences in 3 different circles. And what he wants to do is get 1 tattooed on either hand,
Okay.
and 1 tattooed on his chest.
Okay. Well, it's funny. They're like, oh, sounds like, and they're basically going to also ask you, you'll get kind of evaluated up front. When are you planning to, like, how long, when do you want this done by, essentially? Because this is not a small amount of work.
As fast as possible, but however long it will take, I guess.
Then they will assign to you the best tattoo artist that Lightning Tiger Tattoo has, and that is Brittany. Brittany is the best tattoo artist that Lightning Tiger Tattoo has, because Brittany both knows how to tattoo like a boss, but also to weave arcane and healing magics into the tattoo process so that it happens and it is almost immediately healed as soon as it is done. So it can take a fraction of the time that it would take a normal person to get a tattoo.
Hurts less too.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes, much less. I mean, you see, there's a couple other people that are there also doing tattoos. There's a guy. He's basically shaved head, and he looks to be in monk's robes, and he's covered in tattoos as well. But no, she did all of Roswin's tattoo work in the other game. And Leo's tattoos, which is Celeste's characters.
Nice.
Brittany gets a lot of work in this.
Very successful tattoo artist.
Yeah, so basically she'll sit you.
Y'all.
So Brittany, since I happen to have you in this game for the first time, so Ozzy will come to you as Brittany and basically tell you what he wants to have done. And let's get a little peek behind the tattoo curtain, if you will. What kind of stuff would you ask, and questions that you would ask to him? Obviously, this is going to happen because it's a story, but for the people that don't know.
I guess you would come to my station, and I would look up. I'd probably working on a drawing or something, and I'd be like, "Hi, I hear you're wanting to get a tattoo."
Yes, I actually want to get 3 tattoos.
3 all in one day.
Yes.
Well, luckily I know some really bitchin' healing magic. Otherwise, that wouldn't be possible.
That sounds awesome.
Well, that's great. Show me the designs that you're thinking about getting, and I'll make them into tattoos.
I take the page and I slip it forward towards you, and you see 3 different arcane circles. Basically, all looking like the elemental spectrum. Just one of them is actually the elemental spectrum broken into 5 pieces and circular rings. One is
an exploded diagram.
kind of like if you were to take it and split it, and then put a bunch of rings larger and larger, and then just expand it out. One of them looks like it has almost like a crosshair in the center and a reticle, and the other one has a series of runes that are placed in different locations than the other ones are.
She kind of studies them, and she's looking at them. She's like, okay. Where in your body do you want to get these?
Well, I would like to get 1 on each of the back of my hand and 1 on my chest.
How realistic do you want me to be with this role play?
I mean, as we know, ultimately it's probably it's Buggy's character, so it's probably gonna happen. But tell us, because I know you have a whole thing.
I mean, I'm sure it's completely not realistic at all.
Right?
Well,
You have a thing, but we've had this discussion, right?
No, I'm gonna role play this. I'm gonna role play this
Okay.
because this is Magic Land, so anything's possible in Magic Land. She's gonna be like, oh, awesome. She's probably seen designs like this before. There's probably been multiple clients who have asked for this, but she knows you're a wizard, and she's like, oh yeah, there's special significance for this. She's like, all right, all right. Do you wanting these in specific colors or just black lines? What are you thinking?
I'll actually summon the elemental spectrum in front of her. These colors.
Yeah, you'll see. And there's, for people who are new, because we do have a handful of fairly new folks, describe to just us how that looks, and also for Brittany, the tattoo artist that's here.
I eventually actually want to get this drawn, but the elemental spectrum is an arcane circle that's divided into 8 different sections, and each section is a different color, and there's corresponding runes that go across with each one. And each one represents a different element of the allowed spells and elements that Ozzy is able to cast.
And that means, for those of you, fire, acid, lightning, thunder, so on.
What's it called? Arcane, the elemental.
This is
Elemental spectrum.
Yeah, you made this up, if I recall.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can't find it because Bucky
okay.
and Ozzy.
Hold on. I could actually share with you guys all the research I have, because I want to get this eventually drawn.
Yeah, so this is actually something that both the character and the player made up. So that's what makes even more special significance. So there you go. It's this was random to finally have you here in a session where Brittany does all the tattooing.
Is it in where's it gonna be in the?
Oh, I need your email, actually.
Oh, my email. Let me.
You can just put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my email's really open to the public. It's fine.
Well, I mean, you could put it in the
Zoom chat.
in the Zoom chat, and it doesn't go to everybody.
Chat.
Look at Ozzy. Everybody in the chat's like, does he get carded? Do you ask him if he's 18 first? Because he
Of course,
looks...
that would
Ozzy
take
is
place at the front
19.
desk.
Thank you.
Yeah, that all happens up front, guys.
Yeah.
He's screened. Only qualified people are gonna make it back to Brittany. She doesn't have time for this shit.
That's right. She's just the artist.
Right.
I mean, that's a real. You'd have to be in a really big shop. At our shop, we manage everything ourselves, like carding.
Well, I mean,
we don't have like an assistant or anything.
Brittany in the Lightning Tiger tattoo in Waterdeep has been known to put tattoos on the growing heroes of the Belladonnas, which are a growing name in Faerun. She's done those tattoos, so like, she's getting some recognition.
Hell yeah!
Right, the blue lion of Neverwinter, tattoos by Brittany of Lightning Tiger tattoo. Like, this is.
So I actually shared it with you, Brittany, and Ted.
Okay, yeah.
Let me open it.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna.
If Davis and Chelsea want me to share it with them too.
Eventually, when we get a fine, just as a, I'm not gonna go through too much, but for you guys in the chat, you can see there are a ton of sigils and things here.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of awesome work that that Bucky / Ozzy has done on this. Very cool stuff. If it ever does get finally finished and drawn, we'll definitely share it with you guys so you could see it.
Yeah.
So which one?
The probably more resembles. Which one's the most? Like the one that has the star, the 5-pointed star, and has the colors around it.
Okay.
I kind of like that, but 8 stars.
8-pointed star.
Yeah, an 8-pointed star.
Very cool.
Okay.
And
Like
that's-
the symbol of the Arcane Republic by Zyrony. That's 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's an 8-point.
Yeah, this is some cool stuff, guys. I know, like, we're like, hey, this is really cool stuff that you can't see.
Not at all tattooable.
Yeah, but this is Magic Land, so.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, so you're wanting those on your
Anything's
hand.
tattooable in Magic Lands.
Yeah.
Anything, yeah, these will she's gonna know how to make this into a tattoo that glows, and she's actually gonna imbue.
Yeah,
Imbibe?
yeah, imbue.
Imbue is imbibe a word?
Yeah, that's for
Imbibe
drinking.
means drink.
Yeah, imbibe means to
thank
drink.
you. Okay, that's what I was thinking. She's
I'm
going to
for imbibe.
imbue the ability to maybe like Ted. Tell me if this is too crazy.
No, go for it.
The ability to kind of like help the magic resonate, like
Okay.
like antenna, if you will.
And what in your Brittany mind would this do mechanically? Because I'm on board. I'm very flexible. I love
know.
magic tattoos in Dungeons and Dragons. It's one of my favorite things. So
Maybe like give a +1 or some kind of advantage in very specific situations. I don't
Well, I
know.
do have plans for these.
okay, well then we'll say that they're designed in such a way when they are inscribed on your skin that when we talk about this later, that will be a thing. But Brittany knew that. Brittany knew that because she's so in tune with that
Genius.
shit. Correct.
Tattoo genius.
She's a tattoo genius. She works with Wong, who is a tattooed monk who gains his monk abilities from his tattoos. And you've seen this, Brittany. Wong can like breathe fire because he's got a dragon tattoo. It's crazy shit. Like,
Yeah, that's what it like connects. It's like kind of like inspiration.
yeah. No, well, we will. This will absolutely be a thing we explore, and that's all because of the excellent work done up front.
This is so dope.
I love it. It's so bad, but it's one of my favorite prestige classes for monks from 3.5 is the tattooed monk.
Oh man.
So cool.
So she'll set up her station, ask you all the questions, go over the procedure with you, and get you everything set up. She makes you feel super comfortable, and you feel excited, not nervous at all about sitting down and doing this. And she starts working her magic, and in no time, you like lightning fast.
Yeah, if one, yes, how cleverly designed that tattoo parlor.
This is getting me excited because I have a tattoo appointment on Saturday. So.
Oh, that's so exciting! Fuck yeah! So she ends up getting your things in there, like glow as you like,
Yeah.
Connect with them. They start to glow a little bit, and you're just She's like, all right, what do you think? No return.
I love them. They're perfect. Exactly what I needed.
Excellent. Now make sure that you stay out of the sun basically forever.
That won't be hard.
And even though these are basically healed, you still need to stay out of like bodies of water.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yes.
But wash them. Wash your hands. Always wash your hands. All the time.
So how much do I owe you?
That is a good question. So
since she is able to tattoo so quickly, she obviously cannot go by an hourly rate. So she's going to charge you per piece.
Yeah.
You want me to be realistic with that?
listen, you tell me. This is a fun thing that we're doing here as a roleplay exercise. This is good stuff.
Yeah,
Also, by the way, her eyeliner is amazing. Like, when you go in there, just like...
Oh, yeah, no, I've been, like, captivated by it the whole time.
It
Oh
like
my God.
glows, it shimmers. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
She figured some makeup shit out too.
I feel like this is roleplay inception. It's like taking roleplay like a step farther.
Listen, Ted the Bard is a character that's canonical to this world thanks to the other game. So why not? Can't everybody be here? I'm fine with it.
You said there were three different ones. Where did the third one go? You had
On
one
my-
on each hand?
One on each hand, and then on my chest. Like, right
Oh,
here-ish.
got
Yeah.
it. Okay, sternum. Like right smack in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sternum. Great amounts of detail.
So it's like, now it's like popping out from under my shirt.
Yeah, very. Oh, that's gonna be great when you meet with the party.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like Ozzy at this point in his life now, like before, he was the guy who buttoned up his shirt to the top, and now like there's two
got it on.
buttons. Yeah, he's got that V going on now.
I was gonna say, now he's got something to show off, you know?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh, this.
This whole thing.
Yeah,
She's going to, for the amount of detail and the sizing and the placement of all of these, they would run you at about $300 or 300 gold pieces each. So that's going to be a total of 900 gold pieces for all three of these tattoos that are imbibed
With magic.
with that. I get
Imbued.
that word. Thank you.
Imbued with
Imbued.
magic.
I
With
drop
magic.
my 1,000 gold and I tip her 100.
Oh man. There
She
you go.
bows and she bows and curtsies.
Oh man.
Big ol' hug, and she's like, "You didn't have to do
Because
that."
always tip your tattoo artists.
Damn straight.
So.
I have no comment.
But anyway, that is, and because we, rather than me just coming up with a number, and the fact that these are magically imbued, we will say that not only is this a worthy investment due to the time and effort that went into these tattoos, but it also will prove out to be roughly, we'll say, 1,000 gold worth of your, worth of that when it comes
Done.
up later on.
This is incredibly important to Ozzy.
So we will say that this takes probably...
The rest of your freaking
Yeah, that's right. But he's an adventurer. Who knows how long that is? So-
Shay.
but anyway, we'll say that this, it does go quick. We'll say that it takes about 3 hours total for this. About an hour per piece. Just because, that's pretty quick given the amount of detail that are on these things. So that's happening. While that's going on, Brittany, did you, as Lilith, get a chance to read your letters?
You wanted me to read both?
Yeah, you can, because it's on there. So that's fine. Read your second letter, and I'll deal with the Thieves Guild while
Okay.
that happens, and then we can come back to that. So, Igni and Vanan, you guys go in the back entrance, because you know the back entrance now. You don't have to go in the shitstorm of the other way. And you guys you descend down into the kind of main triad area where you see, again, there's a handful of different people. Some you recognize from before, some you don't. There's the bartender there. And, even though you come down and you, no one knows that you're coming back, there's that guy, your buddy, sitting there, gold teeth, kind of flicking that coin. And he's just like, oh, back so soon. That's pretty quick.
Can I, before we get too deep into
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
can
yeah.
he make a copy of the account numbers
Yeah, absolutely.
and then make a copy with the wrong numbers?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Okay. I would like to have both.
Yeah,
Igni
you
wants
do.
both.
You have both.
Okay, that's all. I just want to make sure I have both. It's cool. It's cool, Vanan. It's gonna be fine.
So you guys descend down, and he's like, well, that was pretty quick. I gotta say, if you did the whole thing, I'm pretty impressed. I don't know the details of what you had to do, but they don't put this kind of effort into anybody.
Oh, you mean asking one person to take money from friend? Oh, they don't do that frequently?
And he goes, oh, it was your friend? That's,
Oh, yes, friend. Yeah, I had to take all her money and give it to these ladies here so that you can what?
He goes,
Make shenanigans?
He goes, sweetheart, that's way above my pay grade. I don't pretend to understand what they're gonna do with it.
I asked them though. Don't fret. And I pat him on back.
And he's just like, all right. And he'll take that coin, and he goes, are you ready to see them now?
Oh, yes.
And he'll take that coin and he'll put it in, like, knock, and put it in that slot, and the door will open.
And I, can I grab Vanan by the neck and just, like, lean him really close and go, whatever you do, just play along.
Okay.
And you guys descend in, and there's that beam of light.
Mistake number one.
Yeah. And there's that beam of light in the darkness, and you guys walk out into that, and you hear the of the door slam behind you, and you are in this beam of light in the darkness, and you hear, a familiar trio of voices, and they say, well, we are most impressed. This is quite, honestly, we're at a loss for words, and that doesn't happen that often.
Oh,
So,
aren't we lucky?
I'm gonna take a load off. I'm gonna like sit down and just start playing with the characters.
and then he's just like, they're just like, well, let us see if you manage to complete everything that we had asked. So please provide what we asked for, and then we'll say that for this you were able to either lend or hand over the bag of holding or whatever, just to get the stuff out, because you had all the art pieces and artwork and sculptures.
Right, all the values. Yeah. So I have like the the bag, and I have not pulled out the piece of paper with the account numbers on it yet. Just the bag.
Okay, and you take out. We'll say you take out. Vanan will help or not. Take out all of the pieces.
Oh, I'll help.
Yeah.
I'll have John help you. Like, all right, John, reach in.
Yeah, John will reach in. Little tentacles, little vines will reach in and extract like a very small idol. All of this stuff.
Boy.
Yeah.
As he's doing this, Igna's gonna look at them and go, so.
And
I have to know, what is it that 3 women want with so many old items?
And they're like, oh, they're antiques, darling. That's how they're worth a lot of money.
And is money all you care about?
No. Influence, power, secrets.
And you expect to gain this through money?
It certainly helps. If I were to pay you 100,000 gold right now to not say a word, or to do whatever I said, would you do it?
I have to think on that. Because probably not. I don't like being...
And then they look over to Vanan and they're like, what about you?
I'm playing with Copernicus, and I'm like, I don't really need money. I'm
Fair.
I'm like playing with his ears.
See, the problem is you have picked wrong people for such bribe.
Then they're like, then you're the perfect people to steal things. Because you're not tempted.
Lucky us.
Lucky us.
Oh, I steal things. I just, I don't ask friends to steal from other friends.
And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, was that one of your friends?
You could say that.
And they're like, well, it's nice to see that you have that level of dedication that you would steal from a friend.
Actually, incorrect. It was gifted. So if I am correct, this is considered, how you say, charity.
And they're like, well, if it was gifted, then it wasn't really much of a challenge for you now, was it?
I try.
And they're like, well, the whole point of this was to test your mettle and your ability to steal and work under pressure, but if it was just so easily gifted to you, we're not really sure that this was a worthy test of your abilities. Perhaps we need to come up with something else for you to do.
No, it is okay. I mean, if you don't like how I did job, I can in fact just keep the rest of money.
And
I have account number here, and I'm gonna hold up the piece of paper, the wrong piece of paper.
And they're like, well, so you were able to obtain it, so that's good as well. Because that was only a maybe, if you recall from the contract.
Oh, I don't do maybes. I do yes and I do no.
And they're like, well, not only did you acquire what we asked for, but you also acquired the account numbers. So I suppose that is, well, I guess a passable response. It was not, it was not gained through any hardship or true test of skill.
No, but it was gained through test of love and friendship, which is way more powerful.
And you hear, like, one of them starts to, you hear, like, a gagging sound. And then they're like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Do my words gag you? They are, in fact, very strong occasionally. I apologize.
and they're like, no, just...
Vanan goes like, probably really hard.
Yeah, and
He's
they're...
like Copernicus and like scratching him like, oh, you get
And they will look to you and they'll say, so you acquired all of the things, you have this account number here. Well, if you said you wanted information, and while yes, it was to be a test of your skill, I guess we are women of our word. You acquired what we asked for. We will give you the information that you seek. And then perhaps the next assignment we give to you will prove a little more challenging.
Oh, I'm not interested in any more assignments. I, in fact, have other things to do. Like, I don't know, catch the cultists you are to tell me of?
And they're like, well, that's interesting.
Oh.
And they said, so we'll provide you this information. And while yes, you can go off and deal with your little adventures as you see fit. But if we come across something that we desire, we will call on you. And when I say call, well, so much as a call, but we'll tell you that we need your assistance on something. And as you've proven that you can at least do what you're told, it would probably be in your best interest to follow through with that. This is an arrangement. You have agreed to a contract here in completing this, so...
I see.
Vanan stops petting Copernicus, and like his head like snaps over to them, and is like, "Was that a threat?"
And they're like, "Oh yes, I thought we were clear."
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Sometimes you have to be really blunt with us because we do not speak in your dark sarcasm.
Oh yes, that was a threat against your life.
Oh, great.
Both of yours, and
when
your...
you decide to tell us to do these things, we will decide whether or not to tell you we are going to do it.
And they're like... And they just chuckle to themselves.
Igni laughs with them.
And they're like, that's cute. Well...
Shadiest bitch. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I'm living.
This is,
Playing this shit.
long story short, this is not... You've made a name for yourself here, which may or may not be a good thing.
Right.
So they'll say, that after they finish laughing, they'll just say, well, here's some information we were able to obtain about these cultists. And basically they will tell you that with the research that they were able to do, there are 4 cults that are operating in the Sword Coast region. Their efforts really haven't done much to interfere with their particular endeavors, so they haven't seen any real reason to stop them or go after them or really care too much about them at all. And also, they're in Waterdeep. There are much stronger, much bigger, better thieves guilds and other things here that could, like... There's the Zentarum, for instance, and there's also all of the good factions. They don't want to draw too big of a name for themselves.
Right.
But they will tell you that that they all operate under... they'll tell you that it's really bad branding because they all call themselves cults, which they feel is that defeats the purpose of being a cult when you self-identify as one.
Right, you're not supposed to know you drank the Kool-Aid until after
Yeah,
you drank it.
but they will tell you that there are 4, and they are as follows. The Cult of the Howling Hatred. I'll wait till you get some stuff ready for this.
I'm on it.
So the cult of the Howling Hatred, and they are a group of knights.
Okay.
The
Oh,
cult...
we killed all of them, didn't we?
Maybe.
And they're like, I'm sure you haven't. The cult of the Black Earth, and they are monks.
Wait, we killed all of them, though.
And they're like...
And I like look back and I'm like,
the cult of the Crushing Wave.
oh.
Those
And
were
they,
those other ones we heard about.
and they are mostly fighters.
Okay.
And the cult of the Eternal Flame, and they are mostly druids.
See, now that is new information.
That is, in fact. But we did not say that out loud, so you don't know it.
Out loud.
Yeah, man, and just like Ignis like, God, so I guess this belongs to you as well.
And they will take that and they will look at it, and one of them will tuck it away, and they will tell you that this Crushing Wave cult is the one that has the potential to cause them the most headache at the moment. The other ones seem to stay to themselves. But the Crushing Wave cult is run by a mercenary lord who goes by the name Jolliver Grimjaw. And he runs his business along the Desserin River.
Okay.
And he basically runs a business, a front that he's a smuggler and smuggles goods in and out of the area using the river. But he runs a front. He has a front of his business that he's protecting people. Like, people pay him protection money to not have to guard them against outlaws. And he's the outlaw that he's paying them to guard him against.
Oh, he's got his own. He's just like conning all of them.
Correct. But he also does smuggle stolen goods and things like that.
Do we know where why he smuggles them? Where does he take them to?
And they're like, they said they'll tell you that it's basically on the river, and he gets goods from someplace, and where they go, they don't know.
Oh.
And they will give you a map of where their is located. And funny enough, it matches up with a map that you already have that leads to a keep on the river.
Okay.
They will tell you that the location is some sort of old castle that's in disrepair.
Okay. There was another. Hang on, I had one more question. Why, in fact, do these Crushing Wave potentially cause you so many problems?
He says they don't, but they're pirates and smugglers, and that has the biggest. They're the ones that we've taken the most interest in, as the other ones keep to themselves.
I see. So these Crushing Wave fighters, they ride the coast? Are they attacking people, small villages? What is it that they are pirating?
They'll tell you that it's basically anybody that's on the river.
Okay.
Because the river is a fairly wide. It gets to over half a mile or wide at certain spots. So the river can take some serious shipments up and down the coast. And you had did you bring? I can't remember. Did you bring up any other names to them of like? Because you guys had a couple of names of some NPCs, and I can't remember if you brought any of those up to them at all.
The only one I would have brought up.
Mandusa?
No, but there is Medusa. What about this caravan that went missing and these hits that was on all of these people? I would have probably, I would assume, brought any note or letter we had with me, or at least scribbled the names down for them and like passed them off. These here, we want all of these. Let me go through notes so that I make sure I say them right. Yes. There is this queen.
Okay, and they'll ask for the information.
Yes, her. I want to know more of her.
And what information did you have on her?
Just that she was mentioned in the found letter we had.
And let's see. Did you have a name?
Marsala, Queen
Yes.
Arisi Kalanoth?
They will say, okay, so you bring that up, and they will basically tell you that the name Kalanoth rings a bell.
Oh.
But they would need, they'll basically tell you that if there's something more to this, or they can find any information, that it'll find its way to you.
Okay, that's perfect. Yes, you just, along with all these things you want me to do, you can send.
Oh, and did you bring up the Mandusa? I can't remember.
I can.
No, I'm asking if you did, not if you can right now.
I don't think I actually did.
Okay, then that's fine. Yeah. So
I don't think she actually brought it up, but
Van's gonna mention it.
right now, right
Yeah,
now.
like what about that Mandusa thing? That
Oh,
this was
yeah.
talking about? What was that?
These cults. See, I am more interested in why they are all popping up now. You see, have they been here a long time and they just get very powerful soon? Because there is whispers, you see, of Medusa.
So you bring this up. Did you guys recall? Do you recall the name of the Mandusa?
Yes, I can. Yep.
It's written down somewhere. I just can't.
Well, that's what I'm asking you right now, because if you don't know, then they don't know what you're talking about.
Of course not. I got Carbo. I got names all over the place.
Cabo.
Carbo.
That guy. Worst.
Right, that was he's the worst. That's the Akaka tribe. Things are happening. It's in here somewhere. No, probably not. I've got his name, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
All right.
I know I wrote it down.
Then they'll basically tell you they don't know anything about any Mandusa.
Of course you do not.
There's like that. They tell you that sounds weird.
Well, you are weird. That is not a nice thing to say to a person who just gave you fortune worth of shit.
Yeah, that was a lot of money. I feel like
You are being looking gift horse in mouths, yeah? Help for the three of you, you dance very pretty, but you are not nice.
And they're like, "No, we're not."
Oh, I see these. Okay, well,
are we done here, Igni? Can we?
Oh, I think we are done. Okay,
Okay,
we're gonna go now, kill the cultist, and potentially save everybody since you are so wrapped up in your underground secret lair with Pooh. Okay, we go without bye.
All right, and you guys leave, and
we're going. I'm gonna be like, we could have been friends, we could have been allies, but you want slaves, and that's not chill with me.
It's not cool. I agree with
follow her, but we could have done a whole lot of good stuff for you guys. But this is real dicey.
You want us to work for you?
And they're like, "Yes, we are a thieves guild. We are a little dicey. Yes."
Well, I mean, like, there's dicey, like us dicey, and then there's dicey, like
a group of thieves guild.
All the stuff, and we get it for you, and then you're like, if you don't get hundreds of thousands of gold of stuff for us, some more, we'll kill you. Like that's
right.
That's like sociopathic. Anyways, we'll come to that road when we pass it. But
it's true. You won't listen to things we say.
I'm very disappointed. You guys were so cool at the beginning.
I know. They so cool.
And they're like, "Never meet your heroes," and then you guys, the door shuts behind you.
I'm a fucking bird.
Yeah, that's fine.
The double bird.
Yeah, sure.
And as we begin to walk out, I look at Van and I go, "I gave them wrong number."
Yeah, they don't fucking deserve the real number.
I gave them wrong number.
Let's leave and never come back. And if they try and send assassins, let's just murder them.
I looked up to them one time.
Can we do that?
They were my heroes. Yeah, they are no heroes. They only care about themselves.
All right, so you guys leave after that, which totally won't ever come back and have consequences at all, ever.
Oh, Vanan is sure it will, but he's happy to, kill those consequences.
Yeah, one step at a time.
Vanan can certainly try.
Certainly try. It might not work out.
Yes, but in the meantime, while all this was going on, Lilith, you read both letters now.
Yes.
So what would you like to do?
I have the token, right?
You have to go, it's back in the house.
Oh, I want to go get that.
Right, so as you make your way back into the house, you go to the second floor where there's the library that leads towards your room, and you find that book, that special book that you pull, and the bookshelf slides to the side, and you head into this room that you haven't really been in over 10 years. This room that was a way your life could have gone had you chose to not make with insistence from Winston and a little bit of rational decision that while justice is important, is vigilante justice really justice? So you see in here on the wall the various clippings of the Waterdeep kind of newspaper detailing different crime things with your red string, you know, all of that. You're basically, if Lilith had become Batman, cave here. The information where you had about this Thieves Guild that you had been researching into, more small time than some of the larger ones, but something you figured you might be able to truly cause some havoc with and maybe shut down. And then, like, on the table in there, again, is a small box about this big. And next to it is also something else. Something that you haven't seen since you tried to make a long, long time ago. When you had your blueprints for all of the different devices and things you were going to attempt to make to aid you in your crime fighting that you just gave up on because that'd be silly. And there's this box, and then there is this other device with a little bow on it, and it has like a little note that says, you know, got this finished from Winston. Aww. And the token is a music box. And
do you want me to read the letter so people know what we're talking about?
I mean, you don't have to. You certainly can. That's up to you. This is a fun thing that I get to, because I wrote the letters, so I know what they say.
Yeah.
But if you want to read it, you can. What do you think, guys? Should she read the letters or no?
I mean, are we talking to the?
No, I'm asking everybody, the party and the chat.
I mean, like, Davis wants to know, but
yeah,
I feel like I shouldn't, or at least Vanan shouldn't. I'm Van, so I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like it's a very if Lilith reads those out to us,
yeah,
then yes. But if she
doesn't, well,
other Monday crew says yes also.
Yes, I know they do, but I mean, maybe she will when she comes out to meet the party, and she'll read it to him. But
leave it to Lilith.
All right, so it is a music box. And then next to this is basically the best I can describe this is about yay big and is essentially, it has stuffed inside it a net, and this is essentially like a net launcher. So this is like,
oh, word.
So you would pull it, and rather than like as a net, you can only throw it like 5 feet. This is like yeah, shoots out a net to capture people.
That's sick.
So he had built this for you, had this finished, because this is, you had blueprints for your various designs of Batman gadgets, and he got this one finished for you. But yes, there's the music box, which you can see has like a little windy thing on the side there.
Well, I pick it up and I open it and crank the little key and...
So at this point, you start to hear beautiful music and a voice singing to you, coming from this box, and you recognize that this voice is in Celestial. This voice, a language that you can understand, but not many else can, and it seems oddly familiar to you. And it feels right, and in that moment, you know that this, based on everything that you've read in your letters, that this is the voice of your actual birth mother coming from this voice box in Celestial, singing of this beautiful music. And you listen, and as the song continues and goes through the entire, it's basically a lullaby, is what this is. And as it ends, you just, this feeling of, you know, there's obviously an intrigue here and a wanting to know more, but there's a feeling of fulfillment, and you just feel that much more connected to that side of who you are. And in doing so, I'm going to need you to write some stuff down that you just got. You just got a blessing that is called A Mother's Love, and it comes with the following abilities.
I don't have a pen. Hold
What
on.
are you? What is this? Dungeons and Dragons? No pen to write stuff down? Come on now.
Man, I'm sorry.
This is fun.
Ted, I'm about to message you some stuff. We're so super secret today, chat. Sorry.
This is okay. I'm digging this. This is fun. This
I'm
is
not secret with anything. I wanted tattoos and I got tattoos. Damn.
That's right.
Bucky's over there, just like, made you my thing.
Okay, fuck it. Why do I get a pen? I'll just type this directly.
That's
off.
also an option you could do.
We are in the future.
All right.
I'm
So,
dumb, I know. Okay,
are you ready?
That's not going to be enough room. Hold on. I can already tell you're asking me to be ready. So it's called a mother's blessing.
Yeah, it's a mother's love is the name of this blessing, and it will give you the following things. Right? You can now cast at will detect good and evil,
Oh shit.
and then you can cast detect thoughts once a day, and tongues once a day.
Wow.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Damn, Mama hooked it up.
That's super helpful.
Yes. And you now realize that this is tapped into this not latent but celestial background that you had that you haven't really you know that you're granted power from this, and you know that it's a part of your life, but you never really knew too much about it. A name.
Like skipped a generation or something.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense, and now it does. So
Yeah. The letter was terribly sad. She was like very, very emotional.
I saw the Britney face when she read the.
Yeah, she's like feeling a lot of really intensely conflicting emotions right now.
All right, and then for expediency's sake, we'll say that at the end of this whole 3-hour thing, and probably testing out this net launcher a couple times just for fun on mannequins that are here that had remnants of a costume that never got finished. After 3 hours, you guys all meet up basically outside of the mansion, we'll say.
Okay. So yeah, Igni. Oh, I think you're muted, Vanan.
Those guys were dicks.
Yeah, they were not very nice second time round. They had lots of sass. That being said,
They want us to do a bunch of stuff for them for nothing in return. Like,
yes. So, well, I may have done a thing, Lilith, and I want to be completely honest with you in terms of, like, what I did. And I pass over the letter with the account number and I go, I may have given the Thieves Guild an incorrect account number. I may have done that.
Okay. What does that mean?
Well, what it means is that they can't actually have access to the funds in which you had promised them. When they started talking, like, it was, that was extra. It was just, we didn't need that. Just the art. I was like, well, shit, you don't get it then. And so I decided in that moment it was time to keep it.
Oh,
they were
okay.
also massive dicks.
They were also just not nice. They want us to do things for them. And I'm like, look, I am busy trying to kill cultists, yeah? I can't just have more stuff to do. Oh, and speaking of, they gave us information.
But
So there is not just one more code. There, in fact, is
Two?
two. Ozzy, what is that on your chest?
What is on your hand?
What?
Ozzy, what did you do?
This
She
is
grabs your hand like really abruptly and looks at it closely. Is this permanent?
You got that too? Without us?
This is an experiment. It's an experiment I'm working on. A very expensive experiment.
Like a
But an experiment.
like a science,
How much
like
did it
a
cost?
It's a arcane experiment. I've been working on expanding the elemental spectrum.
oh,
Be able to do more.
that's
Well-
intense.
That's good. I just That seems very out of character for you.
Yes.
They look so cool.
Thank you. It was the only way I could think of to actually make it work, since all of the elemental abilities come from me. If they are on my skin, I am able to manipulate it faster.
Oh,
Okay.
I see.
Well, if you're happy, I'm happy.
Yes.
But you, Lilith, you look very sad.
And if Lily is happy as I'm happy.
Why are you so sad?
Yes.
I don't know. I always look sad, you guys.
What did...
Lilith, your eyes are
No,
red.
that is true.
No. Igni, no. Normal, resting Lilith face. And sad Lilith face.
It's a fine.
It's a fine line. And I have to
Um,
say, you look particularly sad for me to be holding account number to all of your money.
I mean, I never really had a strong attachment to that. And we could just hold on to that, and then that's our savings account. So when we run through all the money that we have currently,
Right.
use
We could
that.
also do good with it.
We have an idea.
I hate to break it to you, but in this town, the moment that you try to do good, it bites you in the ass. So
That's it.
this might sound a little bit out of character for me, but I don't think we should do anything with that right
Well, I think that is good plan. I put this in a special place, and we hang on to it, and we in fact maybe have a new location, something to look into, and along the way I tell you something that may change your mind about how we use money. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, tell me.
More to the point, we should kill cultists first
Yeah,
before
we should
spending
add it to
funds.
the-
So maybe we got her horse, right? It's a horse.
Elk?
The elk is an elk. I didn't want to say deer because that's the first thing I was like, horse is way better than deer, but I couldn't remember the word elk.
The horse deer.
The horse deer. Oh my god. We got everything, right? Like we're like packed up, ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can walk and talk if you want.
Okay, cool.
Before we leave, I'm
Mhm.
gonna sneak away. And I'm gonna go to that shoe shop,
Oh boy. Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna buy those boots of Elven Kind.
Okay.
If I remember right, and
Sick.
they were
How much were they?
350 gold.
That sounds right. Let's
We
say.
can handle that now.
Yeah, so you buy
It
those.
feels better.
And how much were the spider crawl boots?
Those she said were why I was really surprised at how
Those
Those
expensive.
are
I
expensive.
want to know for
Those are
like
like-
I don't think I can afford them now. I just want to know for future. I mean, if I can't afford them, I guess I'll buy them, but I don't.
I don't have those notes in front of me, but they were definitely more, I think. No, they
They
wouldn't be
were.
that much more. The boots of spider climbing, they're still uncommon, so they'd
Oh, I thought
be
they were rare.
Yeah,
No.
but it was the ones that you offered Igni that were so expensive.
the ones that were like dancing specifically.
Specific shoes, yeah.
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 These, I don't know. Roll me a d4, I guess. I'll pull up Xanathars in the meantime.
I got 2.
Okay. So, while I do that real quick, Xanathars. Where are we? Dungeon Master Tools. Buying a magic item. Here we go. You said a 2?
Yeah.
Apparently. Oh, I'm sorry. Roll me a d6. My bad.
2.
Well, there you go. 200 gold for those spider climb boots, apparently.
Oh shit. Well, I'll buy those boots too.
They're on sale today.
Okay. I thought they were more expensive. All right. 200 gold.
Nope.
Sorry.
The thing you're gonna learn, Ben, is you're gonna spend money. You better learn to freaking haggle. And if they
Okay,
come down on the
no,
price,
Dan is
buy those
not
boots.
Haggler, I guess.
You can tell the party that you're an excellent haggler, because either way, they are. Let's just confirm. Yeah, uncommon. They do require attunement,
Okay.
whereas boots of Elvenkind do not.
Mhm.
I'm gonna. Can I? Does she have like? Can I just like ask her to just like really quickly, just like right on the side, like dancing Johns on the Elven Kind boots?
Yeah, she will. How do you want it? How do you want it written? Do you want it like written, or do you want it like embroidered, or what's the plan here?
On one boot, I want Dancing Johns, and on the other boot, I want 8.
All right. Yeah, she will totally have that. Make that happen, and it looks legit.
Okay, cool beans. And then I'll go back to the party.
Okay. Did you buy both?
I just buy both.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's whatever I said, 500. We'll call it an even 500 because 2 for 1 or something.
Okay.
Discount.
Sure.
So 500 gold for both.
As you walk up, Igni goes, Vanan, why do you have to? You do not have 4 feet.
I put on the spider boots because I want those. Those sound really cool.
I also like to point out that the art is their slippers of spider climb, so they are legit slippers.
All right.
So Vanon's got slippers on right now.
Vannon wears those slippers and he's fucking happy as a clam.
Igni goes, those are not practical whatsoever.
And he'll be like, I found these crazy boots, and guess where I got them? I got them from
The mean boot lady?
no, from the loot box. Remember the random box?
Are you trying to deceive me into believing you find nice, 2 very expensive boots in loot box?
Yes.
Very expensive boots that are
And then
embroidered with Igni's
and
name.
then I went to a tailor and I had them embroider them. But
And you
I got them out of the
you
random
are
box.
saying you found boots in box with my name on them?
No, they didn't have your name on them when they were in the box. I got that embroidered on.
Are you trying to tell me you put them?
Because that other
Are
lady-
these a gift, Valiant? And Igni's like, the light bulb goes off and goes, these are for me?
Yes, those are for you.
Igni like takes off her really crappy boots that have like multiple holes in the soles and like fits the boots on and goes, well, they fit.
Yeah, they automatically form fit to be perfectly comfy. And as you move around, like your feet are cushioned, they feel great, but then you also realize that you're not making any footprints, I believe, if I'm remembering the item correctly.
I think that's right, yeah.
Yeah, advantage on stealth checks.
Igni gives Bannon a big ol' hug and goes, well, I did in fact get something while I was in Waterdeep.
Vannon blushes like a mofo.
I feel like when she hugs him, like Jan wraps his tentacles too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a whole thing. And she's like,
Copernicus sees into it too, and it's just
Sorry, it's not no footprints, it's you make no sound.
oh, okay, so I have blade make no sound, and my feet. They
Yes, make no sound.
Deadliest assassin ever.
Mhm.
It's true. Okay. So I relate to them the information about 4 cults.
Mhm.
I tell them that there is one more than we planned, and there is this mercenary. He plagues the riverfront. That's his name is something Grimjaw. Jalvar? What was his name?
Jolliver.
Jolliver Grimjaw. Up and down the yeah, he is conman. He tricks the people. Yep. And there is this keep on the river, an old castle. And they gave me map, which we already have one of. So now we have 2 maps. And, yep, that's kind of what Igni relates. And she says, so, I think this old castle is that, in fact, we have chosen to bypass it once before, yeah? Is that the same one?
You didn't actually go directly near it. You just chose to not go to it.
Oh, okay. So
And this was the
that's
map,
right.
and you got the map information off of the boat that you cut and set the sails on fire and ran away, stole the stuff off of it, the books, and then jetted. That's
So, thinking back, maybe these are, those pirates we stole all that stuff from.
I think that sounds about right, yes.
They may, in fact, be part of one of these cults. We started taking them on before. We could sneak in, see what it is they know.
and they did have a symbol, one of those symbols there.
True, and all of these symbols, there
perhaps-
and there.
Maybe we should go to the Desserin River then. That might be where they are.
Let's do it.
We should, because staying in Waterdeep probably not a good idea for.
Yeah, no, we should probably leave like
No,
right now.
We've overstayed our welcome. We should leave.
All right, is that the plan then?
Yeah. I'm happy with what.
Follow. Yeah, we'll follow the river, or we'll come out and follow the river down, and just kind of. Is there a way to do that, Ted, where we can like follow it?
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, I'm not too worried about considering the dangerous Somber Hills have never been remotely dangerous to any of you. The journey there is not the
Calm and
important.
serene Somber Hills with nice families with rock names.
Yeah. Nice families with rock names, indeed. So yeah, the journey there isn't the important part, but what I will say is it will take we'll say it takes like a day or so.
Okay.
The time isn't necessarily important unless you guys have things you want to do that takes time.
Nope.
Anything you want to do over we'll say it's just a day, right? Takes a day to get there. You guys are moving relatively quickly, whether you're using a boat or using horses. But is there anything you guys want to say or discuss with one another over the course of this 24-hour period? We'll say you'll get there around, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Or maybe it's 2 days. We'll call it 2 days. Anything you guys want to do, say, or otherwise that I need to be aware of, or conversations you'd like to have?
I would probably use a spell slot to send a message to Winston for Lilith to make sure he got where he was going safely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, so with your sending spell, he'll basically tell you that he is... Let's see, from Waterdeep, he's still on... it's been 2 days, he's still en route, but he said he'll tell you basically that he heard good things about Phandalin, so he's heading to Phandalin.
Oh, nice choice.
It's small town, he should be okay.
Yeah, I think as we walk, Igni's gonna kind of be planting seeds for this idea that she's had without like outright saying it, to see if they kind of like pick up on it, you know. So she's like, man, that house, Lily, it is so big. It could house lots of people or children or you know, and it takes lots of money to have house like this thing. It's good thing I still have these numbers, because we could, you know,
Open an orphanage.
we could in fact open an orphanage. What a great idea, Lilith. And we could in fact use money for a good purpose. Oh, and Vanan could have zoo with tons of critters.
It's like
You want an orphanage with a petting zoo?
The kids how to like take care of these animals, and it like it's super rewarding.
And Ozzy could teach them magic. And me
Would you guys want to
could teach them how to dance.
back?
Yes, you see, it was just a thought, you know, maybe one day when we are no longer killing cultists and I'm not dick
Oh,
stabbing,
yeah,
we could
that's a great
raise some
idea.
kids,
Yeah,
you
maybe
know?
when our dick stabbing days are over, you know?
Yeah, when the dick stabbing days are done. I
It's
might
never gonna truly be done.
well, you know, maybe
There'll
we can
always
teach
be
some of the
someone.
children to dick stab. You know.
Yeah.
You have a dick
Absolutely.
stabbing class.
If we have that, if it's sanctioned by the order that I'm a part of, then we'll probably also have some protection.
See, it could be good vibe coming into home, a way for us
yeah.
to, you know, maybe not be so bad all the time. You know, it's just.
Well, and I think my parents would absolutely want something like that for sure.
We could make it better. Oh,
Yeah.
and Vanan had the great idea to call it the Yon House.
The Yon House?
The John House. It's the John House.
Oh my
The House
gosh.
of Johns.
The House of
The House of Johns.
House of Johns.
I would have to add my family's name somewhere in there.
Oh, we could.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, the Heller's House of Johns.
The Helder's House of John.
And everybody that comes in becomes a John.
They
It's
become
kind
a
of
John.
like it's like Fight Club, but not like Fight Club.
It's like wholesome Fight Club.
like
Personal
also-
John Club. You don't talk about John
Don't
Club.
talk about John. Oh, I love
I will say that as you guys are discussing this and walking, I'm gonna go with Ozzy because Ozzy is the one who has the most intelligence here. And while he didn't go back the second time to the Thieves Guild, I feel like Ozzy could probably pick up on the fact that you gave these guys the wrong number.
Yeah, no, I was gonna mention that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
So, Igni.
Mm-hmm.
You gave the Thieves Guild the wrong information.
This is true.
What do you think they're going to do when they found out you gave them the wrong information?
Oh, they be peas.
Right.
Probably gonna try to find you.
They're probably going to try and find us and kill
Oh,
us.
that is an assured thing. Yes.
Yeah, that's probably gonna happen.
I mean, they may come after. We have look. If they want to chase me into scary place with cultists, they can do so. We still have to fight the damn cultists, whether they chase us or not. And more than likely, the cultists still kill them too. They don't want to be involved. They told me as much. They don't want anything to do with these cultists. So as long as we are not in Waterdeep, we are fine. So we deal with one problem, and then we'll deal with the Waterdeep problem when it happens. I've been away for 60 years. I can, it'll be fine.
You don't think that they have people that they can find you?
Oh, they do. Last time I checked, they made it very clear I worked for them, so who knows? They may ask me to take my own life.
I would like to add that they pretty much told us. I feel like this was kind of an inevitability of getting on their bad side because they pretty much told us that we would all have to do exactly what they say when they called for us. Like, we didn't agree to that, but by doing this one job, they said that that's essentially what we did.
They said we are in contract. I signed no contract.
Well, verbal contract. A lot of nobles are some of the most crooked thieves of them all, and
It's
they.
true. Which is why they don't deserve that damn money. Are you trying to tell me I did the wrong thing? That I should have just handed over your fortune to a group of 3 women who are going to misuse it?
Yeah, but yeah. No,
But I also like my life. Where
well, it's a complicated situation, isn't it?
It is. Because I did the right thing for the first time in long time. And there will be consequences. I get it. But if I do the wrong thing, there are worse consequences. If the worst that happens is they come and kill me, but I keep money out of the pocket of 3 evil women, well, then my death is totally worth it.
Well, I mean, either way. We'll
Man,
have to-
I sound like Lilith, don't I? You've been rubbing off on me, yeah?
I mean, either way, we're probably gonna have to be on guard, like watch our backs.
For
agree.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't really sleep, so I'm okay with,
Oh, that's
You know,
true. I don't really sleep either. I guess the point of the matter is, I understand if you no longer want to walk beside me down hallway, but I am not scared of them. I learned everything I know from watching them.
We're not gonna walk on other side of hallway. We're going to be walking to you.
Thanks,
course.
gang. But I don't want you to die. If it come down to it, I will sacrifice myself. Truly.
That's
in
stupid.
the
No, we're
event
not
of my
gonna let
life
that
or your
happen.
life.
I'll just blow
Okay.
them up. It's fine.
Oh, that's true. Your new snazzy chest tattoo.
Well, I still have to work out the kinks, but didn't figure that out. But yes,
I look forward to seeing how these work.
You're like a magical Iron Man now.
it's kind of cool.
Yep.
I just say, I think
I was just gonna pick up fly next, and then it's just all over then.
it's all over. The only thing I guess I try to say is I think that giving money was bad idea. So I chose to keep it. How we choose to use it is the important. You have a wonderful home, and it is being unused, and there's all this money, and it too is a little dusty. It is begging us, do something good with me, right? And so I answered the call.
It's gonna be basically like, what's the school for gifted students?
Yeah,
and,
it's like Professor X's school.
Yeah.
That's what I said, Davis, and I think I was like, it's gonna be like Professor X. Yeah.
That's Chelsea. That's what
We're gonna
Chelsea
have a
said.
house of mutants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just say it is opportunity for us to share all the things that we know. Because if I don't say so myself, we are quite a snazzy group. Many skills.
I am not disagreeing with you at all. That sounds like a fabulous idea, and I think it would be a great use of money and my parents' money and my family's home. Absolutely.
I don't know. Never mind.
Vanan does not seem to agree.
What, Vanan?
Speak
No,
your mind,
yeah,
sir.
No, I loved that idea. It's a phenomenal idea. This is like I don't know. I get to my family will get fucking huge. It'll be great. That sounds amazing.
See, we never had family, now we do, which is kind of new. And so I guess what I'm trying to say, and it kind of pulls nervous, is that I like you, all of you, and I want to help people, not just always dick stab them. Yeah.
Wow, Igni, that was so awkward. We love you too.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know how to say words.
Lilith like pats you on the shoulder, just like,
It's good.
I-
I'm ready to kill something. Where are you, pirates?
yeah,
Yeah. Right turn.
I think the charm of our group is that we're all awkward.
And Ozzy's just like, yeah, my mom and dad back home, just living it. They're fine. Everything's fine with my. But yeah, great. No families.
No, but that is a beautiful thing too, because you know what a great family can be, Ozzy. You can share that. It is in itself a special little seed we can plant.
I think my mom and dad would actually like to meet you guys at one point.
Oh man, going home to meet the parents.
Are you taking us home for dinner? Oh,
Your family's in Waterdeep too, right?
No. My family lives outside the walls of Candlekeep.
Oh. What's a candle keep?
I don't know. It just sounds
Candlekeep.
great.
Oh, the Candlekeep is the largest library in all of Faerun.
Yeah, it's amazing.
A library. They live outside the library?
Yes.
Oh.
It's a lovely library.
Wait,
Oh.
is that why you like books so much?
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
My father's also a very powerful wizard, and my mother's a researcher.
I've never been in library. Not a real one anyway.
Oh, this one you'll like.
This is a very, very large one.
It is full of books.
It's full of a lot of books, yes.
I cannot read.
I can read for you.
Oh, they're like, oh, right.
We're all like, oh.
Oh.
Well, there are people who can
Totally says,
read
I can
for
read.
you.
I can do that.
I mean, I would love to see it with my own eyes. And plus,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that the two people that made you Ozzy, they must be just great. They must be just great. I mean, look at you. And now you have, in fact, gotten laid. And you have tattoo. You are really, really coming out of your shell, Ozzy. I am impressed.
Thank you.
You are, in fact, welcome.
Now we just gotta find you like drugs and cigarettes.
It's like you turned 18 when you go buy a pack of cigs and a porno and get you a lottery
Find
ticket.
a tab of acid.
By the time we get to the fire cult, I'm lighting a cigarette off of the corpse of some fire elemental.
So at this point, I think you guys have made it there.
Yeah.
So you guys, basically, you're coming from. Were you guys traveling? Well, say you're basically coming along the river. Was what we said, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna kind of follow. I had kind of pulled the map up, but I gotta find it's which you said it's the Desserian, right? Or
Yeah, the Desserin River. So I'll read you the box text for this, and we'll have to. I'll read it, and then I'll position you guys. We'll say you're on the right side of the river, and then what I'm gonna say, it's gonna sound like you're coming up from the front, but you guys are really coming up from the top because you're following along the river. But a small castle overlooks the mighty Desserin River, which is a good half-mile wide at this point. A gatehouse and a keep stand atop a low bluff, but the walls are built to the water's edge. On the riverbank, another low tower guards a boat basin. The keep seems old and worn. Some new timbers and shingles suggest that repair is underway. A white banner with a blue gauntlet flies over the keep. The front gate is closed.
Okay, and the keep it sits like actually like on the river. Am I to understand?
Yeah. So if you imagine, if you will, a traditional keep, a castle, right? So you've got
Right.
4 towers, crenellated towers, and 4 walls. Except rather than four full-on crenellations, that if you're coming from the top, right? So if you think about this cardinal direction-wise, the northeastern is a circular tower. The southwestern is a circular tower. The northwestern is kind of more oval-shaped and has more to it. And then basically the whole southeastern section is to open water. There is a tower there, and there is a long, like a half wall with a stone dock. And you can see that coming out of the southeastern tower is a chain. probably to gate off of this thing, but the chain is submerged to the point where you can't see it.
Okay.
And you do not see any boats in the little, like where you guys are coming in. I'll just give you the bird's eye view because that's kind of how it says, but basically, yeah, you don't see any boats in the area that one would expect to see boats.
Okay. And we didn't see anybody or anything coming up the river. Or
You haven't, no, and you don't see... actually, well, make me perception checks.
Okay.
Everybody can go ahead and make perception checks, please.
That is like.
Oh, hey, look, Dyros, we're playing a game here.
I know. Wait, what? Oh, and I nat one it. That's a
I
shun
got a
dice.
22.
Okay.
That is like the thing I do is perception.
I got a 12.
I got a 6.
Okay, so Vanan, you don't, as you survey this, you don't see anybody. Like, you don't see anybody up on the walls or anything like that. So basically, as far as entrances go to this place, you know that there's a front entrance.
And I ain't found shit.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice.
Reference for the night, everybody. See you later.
Yeah, thank you, Davis.
Bye.
But yeah, basically what you guys see is there's basically two entrances, two ways in and out of this place. So it seems there is the front gate, and then there is the kind of the water entrance.
Right. Okay.
Which
That's
the river,
good.
you can't really see how deep the river is here, but you can't see the bottom, so you figure it goes for a ways.
Okay.
So basically, what do we want to take a break before we go in there? Just because Van and Davis walked out.
Actually left, yeah.
It's bio. I could refresh.
We could do
copy.
a
Don't go
coffee
anywhere,
bio.
friends.
We're gonna, yeah, basically as the party decides how they're gonna enter, we're gonna.
We just been metagaming. No big deal.
Oh, okay, cool.
We're just metagaming over here.
Yeah, that's fine.
I feel like we're actually kind of doing the opposite. But,
It's probably true. I guess it's
I'm
like
thinking about level 6 because he told us to prepare for level 6.
I did.
Looking at all these.
Wait, what? We leveled up to 6?
Not
No.
yet.
not yet.
I said.
Looking at all these spells. There's so many spells, guys.
All right, are you guys ready to make your decision about which way you're gonna go into this place?
I mean,
I
I
mean-
have a thought.
That
For the
could have
sake
been
of
what we
the
were
and all
discussing.
that stuff. What are our options? Or you guys can choose.
You go in the front gate or go in via the water, because it seems to be open to the water where you could swim or fly or what the case may be in through like the back way, or you'd have to go through the front gate.
I'm not too keen on swimming because I would have to take my armor off.
You know,
Yeah.
we've taken down 2 of these places already.
I mean, our style is very much kicking in the door
Let's just kick in
We
the door.
knock.
Can I kick in the door?
with our feet.
Yeah, I don't think you guys have any boats or anything like that, but basically you could. Yeah, you're not sure how deep the water is here, but it looks like you could potentially go in. You know, like I said, there looks to be like there would be a gate, but it doesn't seem to be gated shut or anyway. You do see a chain going out, which would probably stop a boat from going in. You know, to rip out like the keel of a boat. But yeah, as far as you can see, it looks like it's wide open. You could just go right in from that side, or again, there is the front gate as well. It's really up to you.
I
Which
get
is
these
front gate?
tingling. Does it
What
look
time
empty?
is it?
It will say it's like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so
Oh,
Front gate.
and it looks empty.
I mean, you don't see anybody. You haven't
There's
from
no
the
activity.
yeah. Well, you haven't seen anybody like on the walls, and well, Vanan hasn't because nobody else did awful on perception
Failed,
checks.
Yeah.
But you haven't. You can't see inside it. The walls are at least 15 feet high, so you can't see inside this keep. And the towers are probably another 5 feet higher than that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, gang, but sometimes we should maybe do some reconnaissance. It seems odd to me that there are nobody on towers, there are no boats docked, there's no activity. Vanin, your snazzy new boots,
Oh yeah, I can just walk up the wall.
or yeah, your old man slippers. Can you, in fact, scale that wall there and go take a sneaky peek?
I'll stealth over there.
Okay. Which wall are you going to try to... It's a rectangle, right? It's a square. Which wall are you going to try to go up? Because the front... Basically, the southwestern corner is where the main gate is to come in.
Okay.
and then the southeastern corner is open to the water.
Ah, I got my drawing backwards. Damn.
Yeah, very rough, without giving stuff away, is it's kind of looking like that.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. I say maybe sneaky through the front gate. It doesn't look like there are any boats, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. They may be near dock. If there is anybody inside.
Then I'll go. Sure, front gate works. That's fine with me.
Okay, so you're gonna scale over the front gate.
Yeah.
Up over the front gate. And when you get...
Walk with your hands in your pockets, like casually whistling, just...
I'm gonna be whistling, maybe, but I'm gonna have my spear out, and this is gonna be like on my shoulder and my shield out. I'm just gonna walk up.
Okay, so the gate isn't... It's not like an open to the air gate, so it's doors that would swing in. So so as you walk up the doors and get to the top, it is enclosed.
What do you mean?
Like it's not like two. It's not like gates, like wrought iron gates. It's two doors that swing inward to a hallway. So like it's enclosed. Like as you walk up that, you can still see there's a courtyard, and as you get to the top, you can see there's a wall to your left that continues to the northwestern tower. But you're standing on top of a solid surface, so you can't see like down into where the main entryway would be, and you can see that.
Take out a rope. Is it like, are there like turrets? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, to the right, 5 feet up is a tower top that you could climb up to, and that does have crenellations on the top if you wanted to.
I'll climb up the tower, I guess. Is there any way? What's in the courtyard? Do I see anything?
As you look down into the courtyard, there is several large. Basically, the courtyard is kind of on a level that, and it drops down, and you can see a staircase that drops down 15 feet down to the water level. So like the courtyard kind of has like an upper swath that's at the level you guys are at outside, and then it kind of curves down to a slant to the water level where the docks are that leads out to the river. And in the middle of the courtyard, there is several large buildings that are roofed. It's basically a square building with a long kind of rectangular building that it comes out to just below the southern wall, and then there are a couple of buildings in the courtyard, but there's nobody like out and about. The courtyard itself is relatively empty.
Okay.
And then the kind of area that you are, this tower continues. It is like basically two levels that so it goes like another 5 to 10 feet above the top of basically the gate where you're at. You would warrant a guess that if this is the gate, this is probably the gatehouse. Makes sense.
Have I seen anybody yet?
No.
Okay. I guess I'll go into the gatehouse.
Okay. So you climb up. You're on basically the upper level here. And you kind of get into basically the gatehouse. The roof of it is kind of closed off, so it is like a true tower, but there is no door from the top down. There's doors on the side, like kind of on the level. If you go basically walk down a level, there are doors that lead in. If you want to do that.
Down a level.
Okay, you do that, and you go through. There is a door basically on the kind of the western wall and the southern wall. You go inside, and the doors are not locked. Inside here in this gatehouse features door that lead to the top of the walls to the north. As I said, stairs lead down to a lower floor below the ground level gatehouse, if you will. You do notice that there are arrow slits on all throughout here for defensive purposes. And a chain mechanism in the northern half of the room positioned over the main gate raises those the bars there, and another controls a portcullis. And then 3 holes in the floor, each about a foot square, look down onto the passage that would lead through the gate. You would imagine that these are murder holes to pour stuff down on people if you're trying to defend that main entrance. But yeah, still no people.
I guess I'll open the gate.
Yeah, you pull the chains basically. The gates kind of swing open. The portcullis comes up, and the entrance into the keep proper is open to you.
Oh.
There is a bunk bed here in the gatehouse that looks it's not made, and there is basically at the foot of the bed is a footlocker, like a coffer footlocker box that is open and nothing in it.
I'll go back to the group.
Okay, you go back to the group.
And I'm gonna be like, yo, this place feels really abandoned.
They did say it
I
was.
figured out how to open the gate.
Yeah, you guys see that the gate is open.
I looked in there's a courtyard on the inside and nobody there. The one I saw a bed and there's a footlocker and it looked cleaned out and the bed was just messed up, like as if someone woke up and then pieced out. So
This mercenary, he functions on and off river. The chain out front, does it look new or old?
The chain that led to the water?
Yeah, the one like you said, like stop ships or trip strips. Ships.
Vanan's guesstimate, because he saw it really more than anybody else. It looked like it was in like it looked like it had seen use, like it is used. It's not like a new thing. It's probably been there for a while.
For a while. This mercenary was said he has to keep his things somewhere, right? If he buys what he sells, in essence, he has to move it somewhere. It can't just stay on ship. I suspect a abandoned castle is in fact a perfect storage house for all his things. We may want to, take a looky look and go deeper.
Yeah,
I know that, yeah.
You can see that there, Vanan, you would have saw from your vantage point. Again, a lot of the things are roofed, so you can't see into things. But you can see there are several larger, like there's 2 other towers. One was like the tower you were on when you walked in. Had you just walked along that southern wall, it would have led to the opposite tower in the southeastern corner. There's this kind of buildings in the middle, and there are significantly larger buildings in kind of the northwestern corner, and then one kind of standalone building in the courtyard, basically against the northern wall. And then again, there's down by the docks and the tower in the northeastern corner.
okay.
And the gates are open to you guys.
I feel like we should just go in the gates. I would go explore the rest of this place by myself the way I can do, like walking on walls and shit. But it feels dangerous to me.
Yes, no, we should go together. I think you exploring alone is a bad idea, yeah?
Yeah.
We should go gingerly. And worst case scenario, we could in fact maybe stay the night. We could stay here and get our bearings. But there is lots to explore. It's this large place.
It is a large place.
Okay. I'll follow you.
Oh, me.
Whoever's in front, I'm sitting.
Okay. I guess Igni and Vanan, do we want to sneak in? Sneaky in first.
Stealthy.
Yes, you have your bearings better than I do, and to lead the way.
Okay. I'll do that. Roll a stealth.
Yeah, everybody make me, or whoever's going in, make me stealth check. I guess it's everybody, so.
I don't think 8 plus.
Do I have disadvantage with my moon armor?
It is still made out of rock, so I'm gonna say probably.
Yeah. Moonstone plate mail.
Yeah, it's plate mail, but it won't be affected by heat metal or things of that nature, or like shocking grasp because it's not made out of metal. But no, still.
Okay. It was a 16 first and a 15 second.
Hey, all right.
But I still have to. I get to add
Dex bonus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
So
better than I did.
I did.
Yeah, I got a 16 total.
I was about to say I got a 16 total as well.
I got a 14.
Wow, you guys are pretty much on point here. As your guys are relatively sneaky as you find your way inside this place. So you enter through the main gatehouse. You can see the arrow slits on either side, the murder holes in the ceiling, and you exit out into the courtyard. Directly in front of you is a long rectangular building that to the left side opens up into a wider square building that you cannot see into. You see 2 sets of doors directly in front of you, and the square building kind of to the left, you see a door on the outside of that as well. And then you can see the wall 10 feet up on your right continues to the tower in the southeastern corner.
I guess.
Igni says, it may not be as abandoned as we think. Can I look around for and investigate for footprints or signs of like doors opening, you know, like brushing dirt or things like that, just signs that there's been activity?
Okay.
I'll sit there with that.
Yeah, so I guess for footprints, it's probably a survival check, but for the doors and stuff, it's an investigation check.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to do investigation? I can do the survival one.
Great, because I'm horrible at survival. I'm still not great at investigation, but 12.
Okay. The doors seem like they have been opened. Like, they don't seem like they're permanent. Like, they've seen use in probably the past day, you would guess.
Okay.
And with the footprints, you do see foot traffic has moved through the area here in the dirt. And, you know, there's a bunch of foot traffic, you know, potentially through regular use, but it doesn't seem like super old, like within the past 24 hours, perhaps.
See, I told you. They are trying to make it look like this place is abandoned. Those, in fact, are fresh footprints. What did you find, Vanan?
Basically, Vanan, what your role, you see basically, you get essentially the same thing. These footprints, your best guess is, yeah, probably within realistically 24 hours, there's definitely been foot traffic and movement through all throughout. And it is like the courtyard, there's some grass, but it's mostly like dirt paths, so you can see the footprints. And yeah, there were people here 24 hours ago for sure. And it seems like booted footprints.
Okay.
So there are two doors straight ahead from you guys. Two sets of doors. One kind of to the right up against the wall. One to kind of where this rectangular building expands out into a larger building. And then there's the door on the square building. You can see there's a larger structure to the north, or I guess to the left, all the way up against the wall. You don't see any entrances on the side. And there's a wall to your right that you could easily get up. It's 10 feet high, but with relative ease, you could make your way up there. That continues to the tower in the southeast, which is the one that sort of overlooks the water.
Got it. The footprints, do they seem to lead like in more mass quantity towards one of the doors?
They seem to kind of lead to the north. And you can even see their footprints coming out of those doors, heading kind of more towards the north around the backside of the building that you can't see.
I say it would be smart and quicker if we follow footprints. If we are looking for people, follow tracks to people.
Okay. So so you're following the footprints basically along this path, not into the building or anything like that.
Yeah, I want to see where they're coming from.
Okay, the footprints are coming from these buildings, basically.
Yeah, I guess I'm saying, does it look like there's one particular building or one particular place where there is the majority of the footprints or the most wear in traffic?
It's pretty well split here between the doors that you see here, but all of them seem to be going towards the north. But yeah, there's these doors here in front of you.
Okay. Yeah. Should we go inside or do we want to follow around to back?
Let's. Can I climb up to the top of this?
Mm-hmm.
Thing that all the footprints are leading to?
Yeah, you want to climb up onto this like on top of this building here?
Yeah.
And then walk along the top here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you climb up on top of this building, and you can see that the door to the southeastern tower is open. You don't see any people in there, but you see that the door, or like you can't really see into it, but you can see that the door is not shut.
It's open,
Yeah, and then if you walk along this building rooftop to where the building kind of goes into this larger square building, you look down and you can see that there are footprints basically coming from up the stairs, from down on the water. There are footprints from the south, the northeastern tower. There are footprints leading into the building, the kind of standalone building leading out into the larger structure to the north. And then there's a set of footprints kind of most of them leading into this larger building.
So everything is going into this building to the north.
Yes, it seems to be the majority of the footprints are going there. There are also footprints coming from other areas heading to there. They're like from the northeastern tower into this kind of large standalone building, and then there's a set like into it, and then out the other door into this larger building, up from the dock area as well. And again, yeah.
From the dock area into this building?
Like up, there's a set of staircase, because remember, it's on a 15-foot drop, and there's ones that are also going up to this tower to the southeast that you also see has as the door is open. And you can make me a perception check.
Okay. Let's see if I do better this time.
Let us see.
I did not.
What'd you get?
That's I think that's only a 15.
Only a 15, he says.
Well, my perception's really high. So that's lame to me.
Ah, well. You're still level 5. So what is it?
15?
Okay, it is a 15. So you can
it's a
see...
15 total, not...
Yeah.
If it was a 15 plus stuff, that'd be way
No. It's a 15. That's fine. You can see... basically, you can see from... You know, there's this... You come out of the tower, down the wall, like down the stair, like out onto the wall, and then down the staircase. You can see what looks to be some kind of drag marks from this staircase in the sand, kind of down by the docks. There's drag marks that lead from this staircase into the water.
So...
What do you see, Vanan?
Footprints going in, drag marks going out.
Yeah, it doesn't seem... It's hard to tell from up here where you're at, because you're about 15, 20 feet up, but it's definitely... Something was brought from, or at least near this... from, like, the top of this wall was dragged into the water.
Oh, into it, not...
Yeah, but, like, it looks like there's a body that was brought from, like, the base of the stairs into the water. There's footprints. You can't really make them out from up here, but there are footprints that were probably doing the dragging, you would guess.
Vanan, what do you know of the creatures that populate this river?
Ted, what do I know of the creatures that populate this river?
Nothing. I mean, it's...
I don't think I would know anything, really.
Yeah, and it also, you're 15 to 20 feet away from these drag marks. If you got closer and looked, you might be able to see, is this, you know, what kind of thing was doing the dragging.
You know, I'm feeling like living dangerously. I'm just gonna go down and check it out.
Okay. So you walk over. You see again. You can see the door is open to this tower, and you kind of walk down the wall to where these footprints lead, or this drag mark from the base of the stairs.
Can I look behind me real quick before I like totally turn my back to the building that has like open doors?
Do you want to go look into the building?
No, just like I'm just looking behind me just to double
Make
check
sure nothing's gonna pop out on you. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's sneaking up on me.
You don't see anything. You don't see any movement or anything from the tower.
Okay.
As you head down the slope, you can kind of see again. You've got the tower, basically the wall, and then the staircase goes down. And at the base of that stairs into the water is where you see the drag marks. So as you get down there, you can see it's not so much drag marks, but roll marks, as if someone was rolling a body into the water. And you can see that there are booted footprints and then bare feet footprints in the sand, or in like the dirt, pushing this thing to the edge of like a set of stairs that kind of leads down to the water where you would imagine there would be boats, but there are none, and then into the water. But I'm assuming this is just what you're seeing. I don't know if you're actually following the hole to the water. I don't know.
I'll go down to the edge of the water.
Okay. As you get to the edge of the water, one thing you notice in the water, which is easy to see, is there is what was clearly 2 rowboats that are just wrecked, just destroyed in pieces in the water, sunk into the bottom. You don't know what did it, because you'd have to actually get in and get a good look. But make me a perception check while you're here.
Again, that's better. Not by much, actually. 19.
You see in the water, basically following this roll marks, is a humanoid body with lank black hair, tied with rope to an anchor and is submerged, clearly dead. Does not look like he's been dead for that long. But again, you're at the surface. This is underwater. What killed him, you don't know. From here, you'd have to get in and look.
Can I see if it's male or female?
It is male. It is lanky black hair and like a handlebar kind of mustache. But again, it's tied to an anchor submerged into the water. But what's the cause of death or what caused these boats to be broken, you don't know. Also from here, you can see to the north, basically at the cliff side, there is a wrought iron gate with a lock on it leading to some sort of underground river.
I guess I'll turn around and go and check out the door that it looks like this body was rolled down to the water from.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Tower.
Yeah. So when you get up into this tower, you see there are 3 bodies in this tower. I'm sorry, there are 4 bodies in this tower. My mistake. There is a guy, a portly-looking fellow with he has a drooping mustache, and he's got blue skin, and 3 other guys that have that they're all dead. You see some scorch marks. You see mostly lacerations and puncture wounds, but there is no blood at all anywhere. It is immaculate, this murder scene. There is not a single drop of blood anywhere. And you notice that these guys that are dead, one of them, you see that there are broken weapons. Each of them had a shield, or has a shield that's on the ground, that looks like a large horseshoe crab shell, is their shield. And 2 of them one of them has a sword that, the sword is missing for one, and the other 2 have swords. They're long swords, but they seemingly have sockets along the blades that held things, and whatever that is stripped out of both of those swords. And the other dude had like a, you actually don't know what kind of weapon he had.
I'll take those socketless swords.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to maybe in the better you might be able to figure out what they are, but right now you're not sure.
No, I'm just gonna okay, this looks like this thing I have. I don't know what this is.
So you have those, and yeah, these bodies are. You see puncture wounds from things relatively small, pinpoint to slash wounds to bludgeoning, bruising, and then some pretty severe, like deep cuts and punctures. And like I said, not a single drop of blood.
Okay, has Vanan seen this kind of killing before?
No.
Okay.
This is a whole new manner of whatever this is.
Phenomenal. He'll just gather up what's useful, I guess, and continue on.
Okay.
It feels pretty abandoned at this point.
But these bodies, based on the rot, maybe 2 days old.
Yeah, pretty new.
Yeah, the eyes are still there. Like, crows haven't gotten to them yet.
Alright. Can I keep going through to, like, the building that, like, leads out to the courtyard, right?
Yeah, you can continue down. I will say, are you gonna... you can also see that in this room is the mechanism that controls this chain. And you can see that it's basically at its lowest setting, which would allow ship passage in and out.
Okay.
If it was pulled up a little bit, like below the surface, that will be there to take out the underside of boats. But it's lowered all the way down.
Right now, I'm just trying to like get back to the party by way of down rather than over.
Okay.
Trying to like go through the doors. I guess.
So are you going? So you come off of this tower. You're down kind of by like the beach area where these ships are broken. And you're going to go up the stairs kind of into the main courtyard proper. Do you want to go into the larger standalone building or the buildings that were sort of attached to where you had like walked up over?
The large standalone building that like where like all the footprints were leading into, right?
Okay, so there's that large building, and then to the right of that is a building that is sort of a standalone, and there's footprints going in out the other side and then into this larger building.
Okay, so I guess into the
And that one looks to be this like standalone building seems to be a chapel of sorts.
Okay. Sure.
Gonna go over that way?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you make your way over towards the chapel, you can see that there is a door to this north eastern tower. It is shut. And it smells, there's like awful smells of burning emanating from that door. The door is shut, but it just smells like burnt hair. And you see footprints leading from there into the front doors of this chapel. And there is, again, you see these bare footprints, these bare feet, female feet leading into this chapel. And when you enter into this chapel, or do you not enter into this chapel?
I stop there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get back to the party now.
Okay.
Like, I was like, kind of like, maybe. I was hoping that Vanan would find a way back to the party by way of doors rather than by way
I mean, you could travel through the open courtyard to get back to the party, but you're by this chapel, and you can see the doors. Oh, actually, the doors to the chapel are open.
Oh.
So you can see into the chapel.
What's in the chapel?
Okay, so there are wooden pews, right? There's definitely sign there was some sort of scuffle here.
I'm not going in there.
No. I'm telling you what you see, because you can see the back wall of the door to the other side is open that leads out into the courtyard again.
Yeah.
But what you can see in here is on the back wall, you see that symbol that you saw, the X with the bottom line connected on that back wall. Mm-hmm. But pinned to that symbol on the back wall is a severed head. Okay. Then at the base of that, where there's like the dais where one would do worship, there is a body that is clearly also dead, eviscerated, no blood at all, in like a prayer, like a praying to this thing, and then amidst the pews, there are two other dead bodies. There is someone that seems to be in like priest's vestments. Head is gone on the ground, and over top of this headless body is a female woman's body that is in a fish net style bikini, and she's the one who's also, there's another one also praying to the severed head that is tied to this priest. I'm sorry, no, I lied. I was mistaken. These are gentlemen, not women. And where the bent over headless body of this priest, the male body, similar to the ones that you saw in the other building, is seemingly in a scenario where it is humping the headless corpse. Like, it is set up in a way where its junk is in the place of the head hole of this. Clothes are still on. And that's what you see in the chapel. Again, no blood. There's clearly blood. There's a little blood that from the stump on the thing and from the headless body, but all the wounds and everything completely cleaned up. Eviscerations, scorch marks. There's a little bit of melting of some sort of acid, perhaps. And again, you see the other door opens, and it leads into this great hall, large area.
Can I get the party? I want to get the party.
Okay, you go and get the party. You're back with the party. Yeah.
And I bring the party back, and I'm like, holy shit.
Okay, you were gone a long time. What did you see?
What happened?
Oh my god, I think it's just easier to show you rather than tell you.
Okay.
And I bring them around, and I show them the body and the water.
Oh.
Okay, you see this body of what, you can't really make it out too much, but again, lank hair, mustache, clearly strapped to an anchor, and two just destroyed as if torn apart from underneath rowboats.
Good, off to a good start. Already a dead body. Great.
Yep. It gets way worse.
And then you go up to the tower, and you see in the tower are three bodies. These are... Oh, no, wait, these are women. These are female bodies. I missed, and then a blue gentleman with a drooping mustache, and they are again all stabbed. There's some scorch marks, bludgeoning, like blunt wounds of bludgeoning, and stab and piercing slash marks, and no blood at all.
We're in the chapel.
No, this is in the southeastern tower. That's what you see in there.
The
I was
blue
wanting
man.
to take one of those lobster shields.
Yeah, you can have that as well.
Whatever you do, don't disturb the water, please.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I didn't touch that.
I was supposed to say, and two, the blue man. What is his race? Why is he blue?
Have we seen? We saw. Technically, we saw. Never mind.
Technically, you what now?
Never mind.
You're not entirely sure. His ears look almost Finn-esque. He sort of looks like this.
Okay.
And the women look like that.
Okay.
With their fishnet bras and their horseshoe crab shields.
Okay.
We did see a water genasi at that place. I thought that was.
Did we saw a water genasi? Okay.
Let's say you did, sure.
No, I like when
This guy's, and he's got like tattoos on his arms, kind of like tentacles, tattoos on his arm, sailor style
Sailor
tattoos.
stuff. So the thing we take away from this is that this is definitely a place where people come to. These
That's a
bodies
funny-
don't look old. They don't look very old.
No, like maybe a
These are
day or
relatively
two.
fresh. They
Yeah.
are not even waterlogged yet.
No, these people, these three, these are in the tower, so there's no water. The guy yeah, this guy, there is one guy that was clearly rolled into the water and tied to an anchor. Whether that's what killed him, you don't know because he's under. He's like 5 feet underwater. You could go find out. If you
Would I
wanted.
know of any creatures that can do this?
Eviscerate things with no
Eviscerate
blood.
With no blood, yeah.
You can make me an Arcana check.
Good die for this one. What's this one? 13.
You don't know of any creatures that have this kind of capability.
That makes me sad because it's the lowest roll I can roll.
Yeah, sorry. 2 more, we would have been in a different scenario.
Had to roll a 2.
The other bodies, they just look dead. They don't look like they've been sacrificed or anything.
No. All of them look to be like I said. You see, there is some scorching, minimal scorching on the bodies in various spots, mostly around the feet. Like burn marks around the feet. You see, but you do see things like tiny point, thin blade, like strikes, as well as blunt force trauma, as well as slash and cut wounds, and then some pretty nasty, just like almost impalement style things.
Right. Okay.
But again, no blood.
Weird.
So
This don't even touch the worst part.
those boats on
This
the
don't
bottom,
even touch the worst part at all, guys.
right? Those boats
Maybe it gets
look to be
worse.
damaged from bottom.
Yeah.
From the bottom,
Correct.
as if they drove across that. Or rode across.
No, they're like they look like they've been damaged from the bottom, but they are like shredded, as if put through some sort of like something pretty seriously wrecked these things. Like it would be a pretty clear, not a clear break, but this was like, I don't know, it's not that.
The chain was down.
The chain, yes, the chain was down all the way to allow passage.
The chain is down all the way to. Let me show you. Let me show you the bread and butter.
I am just saying
of
these
this
boats
I want to-
and that body, and I point to the one in the water. That right there, that is bait. That is bait.
You do guys, he does also point out to you the bare female footprints in the sand that leads to the water. And if you guys continue the way he was going to take you up to the other building, you can see that the northeastern tower, it smells of burnt hair inside. The door is shut. And then you can see that the bare footprints, the bare female footprints come from the stairs that kind of lead up from the dock below, and they go into this tower, and then they come out and they go into the chapel. Whereupon you peer inside the chapel, and you can see this water cult symbol on the back wall, the X where the bottom is connected by a parallel line. And then pinned to that is a head of a priest with a male body in repose, kind of praying to this severed head. And then the body of the severed head is laying down crouched over with the other male body that, again, is also dead. Same scenario, but it is set up in such a way where its genital region is near the severed head hole. Again, fully closed. Doubt there's penetration there, but that's the way it's set up. And again, same scenario, cuts, bruises, scorch marks again around the feet, and a little bit of in the pews nearby and on the main priest body, melting as though from acid.
Can I do a religion check to see like what the fuck all that's about?
Did you
Sure.
start playing Call of Cthulhu and you didn't tell us?
No.
This is where I stopped because I didn't want to go any further.
And then there is the building to the north, which seems to be the largest, the Great Hall, where most of the footprints and things are leaving.
Vanan tries to hold Ozzy's hand.
I rolled a 1.
This looks like some cult shit to you.
Guys, we're sucking at rolling.
Yeah, I'm some bad rolls today.
All right, Amy's gonna do this. I would do the same thing. Maybe not religion. Let me see. Can I just roll an insight
Sure.
on the situation? Not that I got a whole lot.
Yeah.
Of anything, but no, 10.
Cool. Cults are fucking weird.
This is wrong. I don't care what is going on here. I suggest, if this is happening, guess what? They will be back.
And
I don't suspect this is.
yeah, and I was gonna say, and then you have the door. There's a smaller door, like a rectory door, that leads out the back towards the Great Hall.
Okay. I say we continue to explore and maybe keep our eyes and minds on the idea of hiding. We have the advantage.
Yeah, I'm gonna send Copernicus out.
Just to keep him out there.
He's just gonna like circle around the area, and if he sees anything, he's gonna come back.
You got it. Okay, so he's on patrol, aerial patrol.
Yeah, he's on aerial. If he comes back, that means there's something here, or I'll go outside and specifically like call him back to me. But
Okay. Yeah, and ahead of you is the doors to the Great Hall, which are slightly ajar. You can kind of see in a little bit. You can see a table in there, as though like a meeting table where like one would sit to eat for several people. Like a 20-foot long table is about the best you can make out, but you can't really see too much because the doors only open a little bit. And this seems to be where the majority of the footprints are heading. What would you like to do?
Sneaky. Igni will go through and keep following. I don't think it is a good idea for us to not have explored everything. They could still actually be here, and we do not know.
yeah, I mean, there was also that one closed tower door that we.
The one that smelled like burnt pubes. Yes, that one. I would like.
I haven't gone in that one.
Would you like to look in there?
I would like to peek in pube room.
Okay. As you peek into this room, you see burnt corpses piled on top, 3 bugbears piled on top of one another, clearly burnt, not completely burnt, as if the fire went out, but 3 piled on top. They are, again, there are some that are, there are stabs, there are bruising, no blood again, but they were like seemingly thrown on a fire, the 3 bodies, and it just smells like burnt bugbear hair.
Okay, I pull the door closed really fast before Vanan can see in.
Yeah.
And I go, Vanan, do not open this door, you understand? It will hurt your heart.
It's bugbears, mind you, not bears.
This is fine.
Okay.
I do not care. It is still animal, and it
Well,
is
they're not,
very
they're humanoid creatures, right? They're
human,
bugbears.
right, they are treated poorly.
Okay.
Ignis says, thinking back to what the 3 women told us, they said there were 2 more cults that we have not seen. These crushing wave who were fighters, and the eternal flame who are in fact druids.
Yes.
I do not feel that druids would be able to accomplish that it goes this way. And I kind of peek it open for Brittany and Jonathan. Sorry, Brittany, for Lilith and Ozzy to see, to show them kind of the devastation and the way they've been treating things. And I'd say, but a fighter, on the other hand, would be right here on the water's edge. I say this is probably the place in which they are doing their activities. My question is, where the hell are they?
Or
I think they might be further in. Essentially.
are these them?
It could be. Maybe there was a rebellion here. Someone.
Do we know that symbol is associated with the water cult?
You have a feeling that because you saw that the map that you originally had that you stole from the boat, there was that symbol there. And here it is again.
So
Van's
Lilith's
just gonna go to the
maybe
Great Hall.
Lilith's gonna say, like, is it weird to wonder if they're capable of, like, being underwater?
Oh, and Vanan, you can tell them that you saw the gate that led to the underwater river that was gated and locked.
Yeah. Oh, there
In
is
the
a
harbor,
gate.
yeah.
Yeah. No, there's like a gate that goes to the
Underneath the keep and underwater, and it was locked from this side.
I'll show them. I'll just be like, hey, this is.
You can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, Lilith, you may be onto something.
Maybe
They are, in fact, water cultists.
they could
might-
be underwater. They also could have just killed other members for some reason. I mean, there are cults. They get into weird shit.
Well,
Yeah.
if we think back
Okay.
to the Federer Spire, they killed people just because it did not matter, simply because they
Yeah.
was here. And this looks to be, and I kind of motion towards the chapel if we've already exited. That is sacrifice. I may not know a whole lot
I don't
about it.
wanna know.
but- Right. That is sacrifice. So again, that has nothing to do with probably who they are as much as the ritual itself.
Oh, I should say this too. As you see the female, the barefooted female footprints, they're not walking in a straight line. They're sort of staggering the movement left and right, as you will see where the footprints land.
As if they were injured.
Maybe. Hard to say. No blood.
Or drunk.
Or drunk.
And then you can, again, the only real building you haven't seen that seems to have major foot traffic is this great hall to the northwest.
That's where it all goes to, right?
Well, then it looks like maybe we should try sneaky again, do
Okay.
better this time, and
Yeah, everybody make me stealth checks as you approach.
I can do this. Wow.
Nat 20!
Woo!
First one tonight, finally!
Yeah. 15, did you say? Penny?
Yes.
Got it.
I got a 16.
16.
I got a 10.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, hold on. I need to roll twice. Yeah, I got a 10.
All right.
Second
So you guys are pretty sneaky, and Lilith's like armor, like the rocks, kind of grind on itself, but it's fine. So you peek into the door, Igni, since you're the sneakiest, and in a bizarre scenario, you see. Again, there's this 20-foot long meal table. You see two doors leading out of this room, and then you see a door that seemingly shouldn't be there, as though a secret door open. And you see there are also two staircases leading up, and there is a small table at the back of the room with a chair that is knocked over. And once again, a scene of strange carnage is here in this room. You see a portly, large man. He is been, again, beaten, bludgeoned, stabbed. There are several eviscerations as though he was impaled on something. There are scorch marks with scarring as though lightning was involved. And he is on the ground. In the best way I can describe it is a Lionel Richie pose. All right. And he has a tiara on his head, like off-kilter tiara. On top of him is one of these women with the fishnet bras, though the bra is missing, so tits flying free. On top of this guy, like up on this guy, and she is handcuffed to another woman. They're all dead, by the way. Same thing, no blood. She's handcuffed to another woman sitting nearby who has a dead but pouting look upon her face, and they are handcuffed with fuzzy handcuffs.
Okay, so what we know is that they are kinky. And I turn around to the group. I'm like, it is just more devastation, but it does not seem to be anyone alive. It seems strange to me that everybody died during intercourse.
I don't think that's the case. I think they were placed this way after they were killed.
I'm sorry, you tell me somebody put bodies like this? And I like swing the door open so nobody can see the scene.
There are some messed up people in the world.
Yes, but usually there is reason. I see no reason yet. There seems to be no connection or justification. It seems so extreme that it could in fact be a front for something.
Maybe maybe it's like a sick joke.
Maybe someone's trying to scare us away.
Or they're just jackasses and hate this cult and wanted to add insult to injury.
Do all these people, so the man, the tiara, all this kind of stuff, they're all fresh as well?
Yeah, same thing. About 2 days, you'd have to guess.
Okay.
Oh, and the man, he looks as though what you would guess to be the finishing blow seems to be as though something was pushed about yay big straight through right about here from front out the back, still, and like it's clear an entry and an exit, no blood. Like there's blood inside him, but there's no like blood spilled on the ground.
How does one accomplish that? There's no blood. Ozzy, are there spells for this? You know, I know you can press the digitate or whatever, but it seems extreme to be able to get rid of all of this blood. This is mass devastation.
I don't think I've ever heard of a spell that does this.
Ozzy, you can make me an Arcana check at advantage.
A 23.
To that point, you would know that yes, prestidigitation could do this, but someone who would be doing this, it would have to be meticulous, and like they might have spent, I don't know, in this particular room based on the carnage you see, at least 15 minutes doing nothing but cleaning up the blood. But it would do it. That's something that could do it.
Yeah.
It just takes a ton of time.
I mean, someone could probably have prestidigitated all of this blood away, but it would have taken a long time for them to do this. A very long time.
Can I?
Yes.
There are doors at the back of this room.
There are two doors, yes, and then there is what seemingly is a slid to the side, like secret door that you can see as you move into the room as a spiral staircase going down, and there are two regular staircases going up to a second floor here.
I think this is the place. I think we should head down the staircase. As much as I don't want to, I think this is where we should be going.
That might be where our answers lie, of what the hell is going on here.
Yeah, the staircases that lead up. Oh, actually, I guess it's poorly designed here on the map, but they do lead up. They're open air staircase, and you can see that there is like a balcony and like a second floor upstairs with additional rooms up there. So you can go up and you can kind of see over from. You can't see what's up there, but it is like an open air balcony, like a loft, essentially.
Oh, like a loft.
Yeah.
Up, then down.
Cool.
Okay.
Can I just quick kind of run up the stairs and like?
Yeah, you run up the stairs. You can see that there's a door. It's like a hallway that ends in a door, seemingly the larger of the three rooms, as there are two doors on your right and left. And the door at the end of the hallway is open.
But I don't see anything from my vantage point.
Not from your current vantage point, no. You'd have to move into the room, but it is open, and it seems to be the larger of the two.
I'm gonna use my quiet boots and quickly
You move.
just to the door.
Okay, you peer into the door. It is seemingly some sort of larger chamber, probably for the person in charge. You can see that to the right, looking in this door, is a secret door that's slid open that seemingly leads to the room that you passed on your way here. And to the left, you can see like a wall with empty spaces, and there seems to be something on the wall.
Something
Like written on the wall.
Oh,
But you can't really see it because you're just at the door. You have to move into the room to see.
and I also can't read.
Oh, shit, that's right. Yeah, there are things scrawled on the wall. But you can also say, I'll say with your keen thief instincts, there was clearly something along this wall. Six square things next to one another. And you can see from the movement of the dust that these things have been moved. They are no longer here.
Like perfectly square or rectangular?
Rectangular, like about a chest size.
Oh, okay, not like a...
Yeah, like six,
sarcophagus
you would
or
guess
a-
like six treasure chests side
Treasure
by
chests.
side that have been, the dust on the floor, they have been extricated from this room.
Got it. And you said the door on the right leads... like,
It's a secret door that you shouldn't see that should lead to the, you would guess just based on the proximity, to the door to your right.
Okay. I run back and go, so... there's finally writing, yeah? I cannot read it, so maybe it is message, don't know. There is large room, maybe a one-time bedroom, but now has remnants of maybe some stolen chests. And there is secret door, and it is open.
Let's go check out that writing.
Okay. So you go up into the room, and on the wall, scrawled, in like ink or some sort of, it's not blood or anything wonky, and it's not like carved into the stone, but the writing on the wall says
What language?
common,
Oh, common. Okay.
and it's basically, it says let's see, what does it say? Y'all messed up, we got here first, bitches. Signed, Cutie and the Blowfish.
Oh wow.
That name, they could have done better. Just kidding. What does it say?
So this looks like a raid, you guys.
Like a raid. Like somebody came and took stuff.
Who the hell is Cutie and the Blowfish?
I don't know.
You don't know. You've never heard this before.
They sound like a bunch of jackasses.
I agree. Cutie and the blowfish. Blowfish. I am. And who got here first? The blowfishes got here first to get who?
Igni? I think the Thieves Guild might have found out what we were doing and got here first.
That is fine.
They
I am
killed
glad
everyone.
I was about to say they did our job for us, so I don't really
I
particularly.
mean, I don't really get their choice of decor, but
Yeah, this feels like a lot of extra work.
But
for
they
them.
have to be real.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like their speed to leave dead, decapitated, and slain
well,
bodies
that is weird.
in such a promiscuous state.
And we also like left like immediately.
It's true. There's no way they could have beat us here. I
Unless
think.
he, like,
More information than we do.
Well, that is true too. Hmm.
You can also see. Actually, make me a survival check. Somebody.
I'll do it.
I just made a 17. I don't know what that took.
That's good. Hold on a second.
Oh, okay, 18.
Medium good. I haven't
Okay.
rolled over a 10.
So what you guys can see is that the footprints leading into this room in the dust, again, you see these barefoot female footprints leading into this room. And it seems like there are 4 sets of footprints going into this room,
Okay.
and there are 8 sets of footprints going back out.
I'm sorry. Say that. There are 8 going out, and how many?
Four sets of footprints went in, including the barefoot female footprints, and then 8 sets of footprints going back out. Again, still the barefoot female footprints as well as part of this.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
They multiplied in the room somehow?
Apparently.
Let's go in the room and see what's in there.
Yeah, you go in there. It's fairly empty at this point. You can see definitely below the scrawling on the wall is a spot where 6 chests seemingly were, and have been removed. And then there is a secret door that has slid to the side, which if you peer into, leads into the room to the right as you came down this hallway, which is a small library.
Check out the library to see if that leads
If there's
anywhere.
anything in there, yeah.
Yeah, there are bookshelves. No books. Everything's been taken.
Is there any kind of like little trap door or hidden door or anything like that in here?
No, it's this room. It was once a meager library, nothing too crazy. And this secret door leads from whatever this chamber was into here. Why doesn't really make any sense. Why would you need a secret door into the library when you could just enter off the main door? But yeah, it seems like you know what? I'll say there's like a book that's basically like nautical charts. So it seems like it's water-based book here. Most of them were taken though, it seems.
Should we go into that secret staircase?
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
do that.
You go down into this secret staircase that leads beneath. And that is the north side. Nope, I'm reading the wrong thing. Basically, you can see on the ground here, shattered and broken, are 2 bullseye lanterns emptied of their oil. And then you can see a river that continues out, and you can see light when you look to the left. And you believe, based on the proximity of this, Vanan, and what you had seen and you guys had seen outside, this is the river that leads to that iron gate that's on the outside that you saw. And this continues up past into the darkness to the right, beyond anybody's dark vision. And I guess make me a nature check. Anybody who wants to.
Oh, I don't know. I'm okay at nature.
Say I'm not terribly good, but
I got a 24.
Yep, no.
Okay, so Ozzy, with this, you can see that clearly these bullseye lanterns are broken and the oil dumped. You can see basically what looks like cut strings, as though 2 rowboats were moored here. And you can see very lightly a residue of oil on the surface, and the smell. There's like a smell of burning in the air, as though these boats and the surrounding water were set where oil was dumped on them, and then set aflame, and the boats pushed free. And with that nature check, I'll also say that you can see scorched but still undead below the water. Not seemingly noticing you are 6 ghouls on the bottom of the pool here that, if one were to enter into the water unbeknownst to that, would be assaulted by these 6 ghouls. They seem to be scorched as though they were burnt, but they are still in a relative semblance of undeath.
Damn.
I immediately put my finger up to my mouth and signal everybody to be quiet. And then I point for us to go back up.
Do you use Big B's universal hand or whatever?
Sure. Yeah, I use that.
Okay. Yeah, Igni will follow you as quietly as possible. What's wrong?
There are ghouls downstairs.
Oh, so we are not alone.
They are undead downstairs. Yes.
And yeah, you couldn't really see, but there was definitely... This river winded up to the right, the opposite direction. The ghouls were there as if you were heading out to that exit where that iron gate is locked that leads out kind of to the boat harbor area. And then the river continues back upwards at least 120 feet more, because that was the exit and extent of Igni's dark vision.
Right. So there are undead here. Undead mean there is a necromancer involved.
Potentially.
Do they look to
Is it
be...
easy to make 6 ghouls? I don't really know much about magic.
I don't either.
I don't know much about necromancy.
You can make me.
You avoided.
You can make me an Arcana check anyway.
Sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I do know about necromancy. I got a 28.
All right. So, let me just check to see if that is correct. So you would know that there is a spell that creates ghouls from undead things. It's things that warlocks, clerics, and wizards have access to, and it's only, but it's a 6th level spell. So, someone that's decently, good at the arcane arts or even the divine magics that's been around for long enough, it's definitely doable. And if you've got the time, making 6 is, and I mean, again, in game mechanics term, if you upcast it, you can increase the number that you wish to do so. I think it's a 7th level spell. You can animate 4 ghouls with a 7th level spell. And you can, whether they're maintaining control over these things, you don't know. But,
Yeah.
If their purpose is to put them in the world, that's all that matters.
So it's definitely doable by someone very powerful. So we should be careful.
Or, they could just have been there.
Or, yeah.
Right, they could have just been there for a while and
Right.
got burned with the boats accidentally. Does downstairs lead anywhere else, or does it straight to this pit of ghouls?
There was another path, right? You said.
Yeah, basically, if you come down, and this is clearly a worked stone step that leads to. There is 2 pins with a length of rope, as though there were boats here that have been severed, and it's basically you come down, and it goes to the left, out to the light that you can see that leads to the outside, which you kind of saw the opposite end in the harbor, or to the right in the darkness. And like I said, even if Igni went down there and looked, this path continues more than 120 feet worth of dark vision upward through some sort of cave system in this river.
So, Ozzy, you seem to know a lot about these ghouls. Are they very smart creatures?
Ghouls? No.
Could we, in fact, drop something way out into water to distract them so that we can sneak past? Throw rock or large object?
Potentially, yes. If you can do it sneakily, then yes.
Hey, Vanan. Is there a way for him to go, up to the top?
Oh, of the, and yeah.
Wherever the space is where he could, toss something out into the river, basically, and plunk. And try to draw them away.
He could absolutely do that, or he could even walk on the other way up the river path. There's no path; it's a river, right?
It's a river, right? Yeah.
There's not a lot of movement though. It's pretty dead, so you could easily swim it if you wanted to. But Vanan could just walk along the walls and see how far that goes, and it wouldn't be any issue for him. There's enough room where you could clearly put a boat and people in it to go up or down.
Right, but I'm trying to get the ghouls out of the space.
Right, I see what you're saying. Yeah. They're kind of more out towards the harbor. They're heading that direction. But yeah, you could absolutely throw something and try to.
Yeah, I want to make sure that even if we roll a poor stealth check, that they don't ghoul out.
I'll do that. I'll walk along the walls.
Well, before he goes, Vanan, take this, and I hit him on the shoulder and I cast invisibility on him.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
That's so fucking dope.
All right, so you are invisible. You move along, and what are you going to drop into the water to try to draw their attention?
I'll walk along the wall. Can I pick up Can I just pick up a bunch of rocks?
Yeah.
In my hand?
Yep.
And just walk along the wall.
Yeah, and then you're heading out towards the way where the harbor is, out towards the light. And how far down do you want to go? This goes. How far does this go? I don't know. We'll say it goes 100 feet. So you walk out, we'll say 50 feet, halfway, or even more than that. Drop the rocks. They kind of they kind of look towards it, and they start moving. But they're not actually. Ghouls are relatively quick, but they're underwater.
Yeah.
So they start moving, and Vanan makes his way back invisibly, and the ghouls start heading off towards the splash.
And I'll be as I'm walking by, I'm invisible Vanan, and I keep going.
All right, so you're gonna keep going down the other path, or?
Yeah, I guess so. We'll follow after him.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are gonna get in the water and swim after him up the other way.
No, I don't want to. So.
No, I'm gonna go check it out first.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that works.
All right. So since we're coming up to time here, I'll tell you what happens here, Vanan. You walk for 2 miles down this path. This river curves for 2 miles before you make it to the end, and it opens up into a large clearing. There are grottos and things throughout, but it leads to, into the wall. It seems to be the outskirts of some sort of city with massive stone walls and a big stone door. And you instantly recognize this as some form of dwarven architecture. You're not sure what kind of dwarves, but it's definitely dwarven. And you recognize a very similar door. A door that you saw in the Sacred Stone Monastery with 4 symbols and 4 lights. And Vanan, you, on your person, realize that that tiny Ankh totem that you got from Geonid begins to vibrate and in time with the door.
Okay.
And that, as with your proximity to this door, that kind of green light lights up.
Does this look familiar?
Not in the way that I think you're thinking.
Okay.
It looks like familiar architecture to what you saw in the Sacred Stone Monastery.
Dope shit.
Yes.
I turn around.
But, in the Sacred Stone Monastery, Ozzy's feather lit up the one that had the symbol that you saw at Feathergale Spire, and it was like a white light. Yours lit up this other one that is similar to, that is the kind of the symbol you saw in the Sacred Stone Monastery all around, which looks like, which one? That looks like
The triangle with the line at the bottom.
the triangle with the line at the bottom, and that one lights up green when you bring this little Ankh totem that you got from Geonid nearby.
Okay.
And you take your time and you walk the 2 miles back to the party.
When I asked if it looked familiar, I mean, does it not does it look familiar like have I been here before, but does it look familiar? Does this architecture feel
Nothing backstory related.
okay? No, I don't mean like that.
But yeah, it feels similar architecture in the door specifically
Yeah.
feels in a similar way to what you saw at the Sacred Stone Monastery.
Okay, cool beans.
Yep.
No, I didn't mean like.
Yeah, no, I know. I just throwing it out
Yeah.
there.
Nope, I get it.
So. And you guys make your way back to the party.
I'm making my way back to the party, and I'm like, well, I think this is a key to a thing or something, because it started like shaking, like in my pocket,
Wait, what do you mean shaking?
Doing, like the brrr.
What did you find down there?
Remember the door? Remember
You
that?
found
big old
another
door?
Mandusa door.
The Mandusa
Oh.
door.
Wait, like the same one?
They're like the same exact door?
It looks.
Pretty much.
Are we on the other side of it?
I don't know. There was a city though.
Maybe it's a different door?
Yeah, this seems to be like the entrance into some sort of dwarven city.
Yeah.
It is. Wait. Oh. There is one in Monasteria.
Yes.
There is one in this scary abandoned castle, and there potentially could be one in the Feathergale Spire, though we did not find it.
Right.
And all lead here. It may not be the same door, but identical door. I bet there are 4 entrances to this place.
Did
Whatever
the
is
other
behind
one,
it.
did the other one vibrate when you had that?
He didn't have it then.
Oh.
Yeah, we
I
didn't
got
get
it
that
after
yet.
we went to the Abbey.
Yeah, he got it after the fact.
Yeah, the commander. Remember when I found Geonid?
Yeah, Geonid gave it to him, but that was after you guys had left.
Yeah.
Ozzy's feather from Feathergale Spire, the quill, that did it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think we might have missed something, and Ted is a really good DM, and he gave me a pet and the item that we missed.
I have to run outside and grab food that I ordered.
Yeah,
Uber Eats.
yeah,
And
do your
also,
thing.
I want to cast
Traitor. You know
detect,
I work for Grubhub.
detect good or evil on the door.
Okay, so you're gonna go, but you have to get down there, and it was a 2-foot walk on the wall, so you'd have to swim.
Oh, okay.
2 mile.
2 mile, I'm sorry, 2 mile, yeah.
Got it. Never mind.
Go get your food.
Yeah, I'll be right.
By the way, internet, The book is nowhere near any of the stuff that I'm saying, so just ignore. If you pick up Princess of the Apocalypse, you can run my version. That's fine. This is very different than what's written, clearly. You're muted, Chelsea.
You're muted.
Yep, hell if I know what the fuck is going on. I do not know. All I know is whoever did all of this is clearly not good people. That this is potentially second door and or same door connected to two separate places means bad news. Bad news. Bad news.
I think this potentially means that someone has the item that we need in order to get to the other side of these doors. We have to find out who exactly took this. But also, I feel like we should finish. There's tons of places we haven't gone yet, right?
In this
Correct.
place?
There is the whole center section you have not visited.
Oh, I thought we were much closer.
No, and there's even 3 doors here you haven't gone through.
We should finish exploring what's here and see if we can find any other clues.
It's true. Is it still daylight out?
Yeah, it's only like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I think maybe we should also probably, if we're gonna be heading down this way, we should probably kill all these ghouls first. There's 6 of them?
Yes.
Are they like, how deep in the water are they?
They are... The water doesn't go too deep. The water here is maybe like 5 feet deep, so that if you were presumably in a boat or something and were unaware, they'd be able to get you.
Can I like tap the edge of the... I mean, if everyone's down with just like killing these ghouls, like we can just like kill them one by one as they come out of the water.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to even make you guys roll for that. You guys are well stocked and well prepared. You have a paladin. You have access to fire. You're in a good spot.
Yeah.
So if that's a thing you want to do, then I'm fine with that.
I'm down for something like that. Just like, because
How far away are they?
Right now, they are like 75 feet away up the other side where the rocks were dropped.
I can
There's
shoot a
only 6 of
fireball at them.
It's an option you have. They're underwater, but you could do it. Doesn't really affect it.
I can shoot an ice ball at them.
Oh, it doesn't really matter. It's Dungeons and Dragons. You can do that.
I just say we
Magic works underwater. Doesn't
Oh,
make
I
any
guess-
sense, but it works.
You want to do that? You just want to use a fireball? We can also just like lure them out and...
Or we could do that either. I don't have to waste the third level spell.
I feel like you holding on to your 3rd level spell is important to us.
Okay. We could just blow them up otherwise.
I'll start to taunt the ghouls like, "Yo, what up, ghoul? You ain't shit. You tried to walk and you tripped. Yo, what up, ghoul? You met me yet? We the Dancing Johns. And you're gonna find you don't know where you at because you're in the water and it's wet. What up?
The vicious of mockeries to these ghouls.
Man?
Alright, yeah, I mean, they're ghouls. They're not particularly difficult. A fireball would likely kill all of them in one go. They're not super hard to defeat. Yeah, I don't care. Sure, you guys can kill them. It's not worth... They have, like, 22 HP.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really worried about it. And I don't really feel like I need to be in a scenario where I'm like, everybody, you're going to lose X amount of spell slots or take this much damage. You know, they're coming out of the water. Water's difficult terrain. They have half movement. Let's say you guys take them out. That's fine.
Okay.
So we kill all the ghouls. Great.
You did.
Yay.
So,
Okay.
Finish exploring this place.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
alright, so you guys go back up. And essentially, let me get back to my spot here. You can see that in the other room, across from the library, is just a regular old room that has an arrow slit that looks over the courtyard. There are 6 like pallet beds here that are all empty. And you also see that downstairs if you go downstairs into the rooms beneath it, there is a set of quarters with 6 bunk beds, and 2 laundry tubs, and several baskets full of dirty dishes and dirty clothes.
Fresh dirty dishes and clothes, or are they like dusty and old?
They've been here for about a day or so.
Oh, so these are like fresh.
24 hours. It's just water, right? It's not like they're empty. It's there. And then across from that is the kitchen. And I'll wait for Ozzy or Bucky to get back before we go through what's in the kitchen. But basically, there is... you can see that there are casks, like a dozen casks of ale. Let me rephrase that. There's 10 casks of ale, which you would think, to the right person could be worth something. You sell that to a bar or otherwise. There's like 2 barrels that have salted meat in them, prepared salted meat. A couple of sacks of flour and things.
Okay, but nothing really out of place in the kitchen.
There's some stuff that's been moved around, and you do notice that here in the kitchen there is it feels like almost unnaturally cool in here. Like it's colder than it is anywhere else. It's a little weird.
Unnaturally cool.
Like it's as hot as it is outside in every other building, but in this particular room it feels as though it is colder, as if to better prepare food and things.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But you can't make any reason as to why. You don't see ice or anything out in the open. The room, it seems like a regular kitchen, but you'd guess that this is probably at least 20 to 30 degrees cooler here in this room.
Igni, and I'm sure like her breath shows.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely see your breath. Yeah, in the kitchen.
Ozzy, it is strange. It is cold here. It is not coming from anywhere. How do we? What is that? Can he roll some kind of arcana on it, or like is it a spell?
Oh,
you're muted.
She's also eating.
No, I was talking to Ozzy. Yeah.
Can I sit for 10 minutes and cast Detect Magic?
Yes, you absolutely can. So basically, you find that in one of the
casting Detect Magic, I braid his hair.
All right. You find that there is a small magical blip in the in the bottom of one of these barrels. There's something magical there.
There's something in that barrel over there.
Oh, can I just walk over and peer in? No touchy.
Yeah, you look in, and at the bottom, what I can describe to you is what basically looks like 3 about yay big, looks like basically like ice cubes that are stuck together. And it feels colder
like the
here.
Barrel might be letting out the coolness.
Potentially, yeah.
Big chunks of ice at the bottom. Maybe.
It's like all together, probably around this big.
Could be what is giving off this chill in air.
Can I pick it up with my mage hand?
Yep, you have it. Doesn't weigh much of anything. Obviously, it's ice. But it is clearly the thing that's radiating this cold energy here.
Okay. Another door out of this room, or is this an
that is pretty much it here. The only place you haven't gone is really in the middle of the courtyard.
Okay. If that's the last place, I say let's check that out before end of game.
Okay, so you guys go and check that out. This seems to be a barracks house of some kind. There is a bathhouse with wooden washtubs in it, and curtains to provide some semblance of privacy. There is what appeared to have been an armory, and there's most of the stuff has been cleared out. There's a scattering of a couple javelins and crossbow bolts and some arrows. You see like a couple pieces of there's actually a couple suits of leather armor here. And then there's there's like one or two of these horseshoe crab shields. They're not actually made out of a horseshoe crab shell. They're actually made out of copper, but they're fashioned in such a way as to look like a horseshoe crab.
Igni would not know this, but who lived here first? Who is in fact the person who would have had this and maybe abandoned it or was killed? Do we know that?
You don't. You know that it is kind of in disrepair, and these people, whoever were here, were at least you saw with some new shingles and some scaffolding and stuff. People were trying to repair it, but
yeah. Just with these shields, I feel like this has to be the group of fighters. But it seems strange as if they have been wiped out.
Yeah. I would like to sit for another 10 minutes and cast Identify on this ice cluster.
Sure. All right, so you do that on this cluster of ice, and for lack of a better name, because it's all I could literally think of the entire time I talked about it, is we're going to just call this Never Melt Ice, like the Pokemon item that you give to ice Pokemon to increase their ice damage. Because that's all I could think of the entire time I was thinking of it. So what this will allow you to do is if you place this into a bag or a sack of any kind, it basically makes it refrigerated. So it will keep, if you put it in your bag of holding, anything that in there is kept at a cool, like 30 degrees or 40 degrees. So it's not frozen, but it's enough to keep things cool and preserved so meat won't spoil and things of that nature. Kept in the open air, it has a nice air conditioning effect to keep the room and the area cool to counteract things of areas of extreme heat. Putting it out in an area where it was particularly cold would probably do the opposite of that effect. And if you were to place it on top of, a standing body of water, it would basically freeze a 5-foot cubic area of water.
I'll put it in the bag.
In the bag.
Well, I am intrigued by all of this, though I do not have answers. I feel like we are still missing a piece of puzzle. We cannot go through door, the scary Mandusa door. There is nobody here left alive. We have slayed the ghouls. I don't know what it is we can achieve by staying here unless the killers of all these victims plan to come back. Then we could potentially set a trap or post ourselves in a way to take advantage of the situation.
You want to stay here for the night then?
It was just that one door, right? At
Mm-hmm.
the end of that, it was like just the door.
Basically, yeah, like set into the side of the mountain, or the side of the underkeep, if you will.
And you said there was a door like near the river, right? The secret one?
There was a door, there was like a gate, an iron gate that was locked that led, basically the way Vanan walked to get the ghouls to go out, it seems like it would go out there, but you couldn't leave via this method without having the key to unlock that, or a means to get through that lock.
Okay.
But it's the same river.
There seems to be nothing valuable here. If it was valuable, it was in the chest that seemed to have been stolen from the large chamber. I say look, there is food in this kitchen. There are, in fact, barracks here.
I want to leave.
You want to leave?
I want to leave. I don't want to be here.
There's a lot of bodies in here. I'm not really a fan of that.
Well, they did that, but
I don't want to be here. I don't want
okay.
I don't want to be here if anything, the thing that did this comes back. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here if it doesn't come back. I just
Why
want
don't we camp somewhere close by?
It would be more strategic to do that. I think strategic.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, let us set up where we have good vantage point of both entrances, and then maybe we can keep an eye out through the evening.
Vanan walks away like, I'm gonna go find the place that we can go do that, and then he walks like 10, 20 miles away.
Okay, yeah, so you guys basically leave, you're able to post up for the evening, and that is where we're going to bring this episode to an end.
With nightmares of naked, humping bodies.
Yes. So thank you.
Ted.
Yo, Ted, that was really cool.
Yeah, bloodless nonetheless. I still gotta figure that out.
I have no idea what's going on.
Like
It's really
maybe it was like Carterized.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
want to spoil it, but for these people who are here on the game, they probably shouldn't. But internet, if you want to know what happened, later this night after this episode ends, I will be releasing the one shot that I ran this weekend that'll explain all of that. So there's an episode that I ran Saturday night with a group of new people and some people that you may recognize that played through what led to the events of this, and you'll be able to figure out what happened.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. So, who is Cutie and the Blowfish? Maybe you'll find out in that episode. This is what's wonderful
Wow.
about running one-shots in a canonical universe that's shared.
Wow.
Yeah.
After that, I don't know if I want to know how that happened because that was a big old mess.
Not what I anticipated, clearly. But this is how I try to make my universe feel like it's alive. Things happen. They don't just wait there for the scripted PCs to walk up.
That's true.
Things happen when they're not around. So anyway, also level 6. Congratulations, everybody.
Ooh.
I felt like you guys deserved it for all of the stuff that you dealt with Lilith's backstory and all that stuff. So anyway, Brittany, why don't you tell us who you are and the internet and all that real quick.
Well, here I play Lilith Helder, aka Bat Lady. But that's just it now. And I also play Arnadella on the Venture Maidens podcast. We stream every Wednesday. It's going to be after hours this week. You can find us on Twitter at Venture Maidens. I think we're updating our website right now, so bear with us on that. And then you can also hang with us in Discord. Basically all the social media things, etc., etc.
Okay, well, you got to run to your date, so we're going to go through everybody else if you want to run. That's
fun
fine.
on your hot date.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes, I do have to run, guys. Sorry, I will be bouncing now, but I had fun. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening, and I can't wait to see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right. So, Chelsea, how about you? Well, the overlay is going to get all wonky, guys, but we'll just have to deal with it.
That's okay. I am Chelsea, also known as Little Red Dot online, which is where you can find all my stuff. I'm on all the social medias, mostly Twitter. There you can find my weekly schedule, which is jam-packed of RPGs and D&D games, which I'll talk about in a second. And you can also find the link for my personal Discord, where you can come chat. I talk things. If you're in my Discord, you will also gain access to ways to sign up to play on my channel, which I've officially launched now as well. And we have RPG Sunday Fun Days. And I have officially been approved to play through some beta testing of the Fate of Cthulhu RPG that is coming out based on the Fate system. It's going to be super cool. I'm really excited about it. Instead of like a usual Cthulhu game where you like go crazy and claw your eyes out in a corner, this is more like Terminator meets Alien. So you actually are traveling back in time to try to stop Cthulhu from his. It's really cool. I'm so excited about it. So more information to come on that, as well as the 2 casts that I'll be playing those sessions with in the month of July. When I'm not here every other Monday, you can catch me every Wednesday on the North by Northwest podcast, every Thursday DMing over on Encounter Roleplays channel, every Saturday with Wizards of the Coast for Learn by Play. Those are pretty much my regular ones. And then, like I said, every other Sunday to every Sunday, I do Sunday Fun Days on my own Twitch channel.
There you go. Bucky, what about you?
I'm Bucky. I normally play Ozzy, the now newly tatted up Ozzy. On my podcast, I play Vendalar Greymeyer. You can find the Taking Initiative podcast at our website, thespark.network. You can find us on Twitter at TI_pod. We actually just closed out our 4th arc on the podcast, and we are doing a special giveaway. And if you go over to our Twitter page, there is a nice little graphic that my best friend spent a lot of time working on, and it'll tell you all the details you need to enter the giveaway.
All right. Awesome. And Davis.
Hello, I'm Davis. I am from Dank Dungeons, but I played this game a lot. Ridiculous. I love these people. But yeah, we're filming. So Dank Dungeons, we're filming season 2 season 3. Oh my goodness, that's been so long. Season 3 this month, hopefully. we had it set up to do that, and then hopefully it'll be out later this year. Although my very good friend Lex has released a new thing, which I very much enjoy, which is the joy of monster cooking. I recommend everyone check it out. It's got lots of fun homebrew rules for cooking, as well as tons of recipes for monster ingredients, and it's got some good ones. So I'd very much go and check that out. He put a lot of work into it, and I'm really excited for him and the fact that he was able to put this out. You can find it on the Dungeon Masters Guild.
Oh, okay, very cool. I will make sure to link that, and also Lex WTF send me that so I can do a review of it for people on the internet. Come on, man.
Yeah, no, it's
for real.
I've read through it, and it has so many fun homebrew rules. But even if you just want like for flavor or for fun, it just has so many crazy recipes. It's really awesome. I recommend everyone go and check it out. And that's me. Hello, I'm Davis.
Yeah, and I'm Ted. I run Nerd Immersion here on this channel, twitch.tv/Nerd Immersion. Have a lot of stuff coming out soon. There is going to be, I have 2 videos coming out on Morden Caden's Tomb of Foes. It'll be either today or tomorrow. It's basically just comparing the stuff that's published in the book versus their appearance in Unearthed Arcana. So that is stuff that I've done, and then after that, it's just going through the bestiary section of Morden Caden's Tomb of Foes and giving you my feedback on all of those. I have to see if I have time and the energy to record something of a top 10 for tomorrow. Probably not going to happen, but I'm going to try. Tomorrow is my homebrew world. We did our evil game last week. We're going to do a train heist over there. Tomorrow's my homebrew world. We'll see what happens as the party walks through an awful, awful, desolate hillside after being attacked by centaurs that instead of being horse people were scorpion people. And then they're going to travel through that into a war-torn wasteland of a civil war between kobolds because they make awful, awful choices. And yeah, Wednesday is It Builds Character. I actually don't know who I'm building because I just built Kim Possible for Chelsea. I built the 10th Doctor, which that video will be coming out on Wednesday if you want to see my take on how to do a Time Lord and come up with a sonic screwdriver and a TARDIS in Dungeons and Dragons. That's an interesting, very difficult thing to do. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, I'll link one last time is the giveaway here if you want to enter to win a copy of Morden Caden's Tome of Foes. And we're going to have more giveaways coming in the future because they're going to have some cool...
Ted, how many times can I enter the giveaway?
How many times? Well, I mean, you could enter through a bunch of different manners. I mean, you can enter... If you want to sit there and make multiple email accounts to refer yourself, you can do that. I won't stop you.
Oh, that's tricky.
Yeah, it is.
Smart.
If you want to make... Because you have a referral link. If people sign up via your referral link, then that gets you extra entries. If you subscribe to the Nerd Immersion Twitch channel using potentially your Twitch Prime account, that's 10 extra entries right there. So think about that, folks. That's ways to get in there.
What?
Listen, if you want to sit there and self-refer for days, I'm not going to stop you because each one of those fake accounts to enter in to count as a self-referral has to subscribe to the Twitch and the YouTube. So that just keeps... The numbers are sort of dead numbers, but that just keeps driving it up, and I'll take it. So, but yeah, there's going to be more giveaways. Obviously, when all the new books come out, I'm going to be doing that. But I think we're going to have some dice giveaways coming up and some dice accessory giveaways coming up. And soon, hopefully, my sponsorship, the one sponsorship deal that I've worked out, you'll be able to get a coupon code from this really cool coffee company called Initiative Coffee, which is coffee for gamers by gamers. Their coffee is amazing.
So cool.
Improved Initiative is the blend that I prefer, but we'll have a coupon code where you guys can pick up coffee.
Somebody, oh, you're right. You can get a Nerd Immersion, like, merch now, right?
Yeah, you can get all sorts of stuff, like stickers and notebooks and t-shirts and all that stuff. And if we ever get somebody we can get Dancing John merchandise, hopefully, in the future. I'm
smart.
I know, we gotta work on that. Get some Dancing John or Princess of the Apocalypse art. I'm on board for that. And I guess the 16th, towards the end of the month of June, TeePublic will have a 30% off sale on everything on their website. So if you want to pick up Nerd Immersion, that's the time to do it.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't have any other, but wait, there's more moments. But
Yeah, that was all I could think of. I just knew you were doing like a lot of things.
I usually would have cut it short, but there's a lot going on, so.
Yeah.
Hey Ted, I have some bad news. It sounds like you have a lot of extra dice.
I do.
I lost all of my dice.
Are you shitting? No way.
What
Yeah,
eats your
all
dice?
gone.
Dude, I sent you 5 sets of dice. Where'd they go?
It's all gone, Ted, so you better send me some more dice.
He's lying.
I know he is. I could tell.
Nope,
Wait.
I'm not.
You
I'm
little
rolling
sneaky.
that one on
I'm
your
just really happy at the idea about getting new dice.
Listen, I have a friend who works for a dice company. She's going to be guesting on one of our shows in the future. I'm hoping we'll be able to give away some of those cool dice that's from her company. So.
I better.
Oh, did you guys see a put? Look.
Yeah, I see the Igni art right there.
Hey!
Yeah, I finally put her up.
I gotta get
She was in like a box at the bottom. I had to find her, but she's here.
I still got mine right here.
You know, as I ask and ye shall receive. I just got an email about the joy of monster cooking. So there you go.
It's so good.
I'm so pumped. But thank you guys so much for watching. It's been an absolute blast. I always have fun whenever I get to hang out with these folks. We have a fun time. Level 6 for the party. Dealing with Cutie and the Blowfish Aftermath. Wonderful times. So
I already leveled up.
yeah, there you go. Anyway,
Awesome.
guys.
Always a step ahead.
Yes. We will see you next time. Have a wonderful evening.
Okay, bye.
Bye.